Okay, we are live, and I'm going to go to YouTube and see if I see us. If you have us broadcasting on YouTube, you want to turn down that volume because all of a sudden we'll just be.
I just have us on the StreamYard because of my internet. If I try too many things, it will it won't be nice.
Oh no, I get it. I totally understand.
That's another issue out here in the studio is the internet is in the front part of the house.
Right. Well, we have a hi, Janice. Janice is saying hi to us. I'm going to try to share our link in my Facebook group. It's me and APG Jamie. I feel so happy. I get to crap with APG Jamie. Oh my gosh, I loved your paper clips. Girl, you're the queen of paper clips.
Oh, thank you.
No, I mean, you put some serious details in them. The one with the little thumbprint and little tickets. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I so enjoy making. I love little miniatures and little things. I don't know why, but I do.
Good.
So
no, I get it. I mean, do you ever go back and look at some of the stuff and say, well, how did I do that? Or what was I thinking when I did that? Or
yeah. And what I think is always funny, well, it doesn't happen all the time, but I look at stuff and I'm like, wow, I did that.
Oh, that happens to me too.
I'm like, I can't believe I did that.
Oh, I get it. I can totally relate. It happens to me. And sometimes I'll look at it and I go, wow, that was good. Did I make that?
Yeah.
Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Kim. Hi, Jacqueline. Welcome. So APG and I are just going to hang out and craft and chat a little. What are you making? What are you working on, APG?
That marbling paper like Lisa, my Eclectic Life did.
Oh, girl, I'll go get it in a minute. I have a whole folder that I made of her paper. And I
saw it.
It's so serious. I made some, it's addictive. Hi, Mrs. Gigi. How are you?
I'm using cardstock, regular copy paper, and probably some deli paper because I did some the other day and they should probably be dry, which I'll pull out in a little bit. And we'll look at them together.
No, I made some. Were you Jane Peter Artist suggested that we get this. Let me grab it. It actually is really good. Let me grab the paper. It's right here. Hold on.
I hope everybody's doing well today. We are a moderate temperature, but it is so humid. I had to turn the air conditioner on a little while this morning to get some of that humidity out. It has been crazy since Beta came through. Beta being that tropical storm, almost hurricane. I don't know. Maybe it was a hurricane before it actually hit. I don't know. And so the humidity is just absurd. Crazy. How do you get kept? Well, I guess they can.
I'm sorry, I left for a second. I just went to grab my paper, that so Jane Peter Artist told me to get this paper, and I have to say, let me see.
True, Ray. Yeah, I picked some up, but I haven't used it yet.
Okay, so the pros and cons of it doing it Lisa's way. Let me just see. Okay, let's see. Okay, so for those of you that I bought mine on Amazon and it wasn't expensive, but you have to buy a lot of it. I don't know how many. I don't know how much it was. It was like, let's say it was like $20, and you got 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You got 500. You got 10 packages of 50, and it's 9 by 12. It may have been under that. I don't remember because I bought it on Amazon. Now I did what Jamie's doing with this. It's not as easy with this, but I'll show you how it came out, and I kind of like it. it's sturdier. So like, here's a couple pieces. I did a bunch, and I already sent off the book that I made with it. So if you can see it, it doesn't get as many wrinkles, right? And I did mine with tea and I don't know if this is blue Kool-Aid. I don't remember. I just tried to use what I had, like, because I have bits of stuff everywhere, but it's really sturdy. Like, it's a very sturdy paper. Whereas this is just plain copy paper that I did also with the same blue Kool-Aid, I might add. Okay, so do you see the difference? Like, you can't with the same blue Kool-Aid, and it's, you know, just regular paper. But I did all of these Lisa's way, and I have to say it's a bit addictive, right?
Right.
And yeah, somebody asked me if I sold paper. I said, heck no. I said, it takes me too long to do it. I'm not like, this is my ode to Lisa, my eclectic life. And at the end of the stream, you guys, I'll put her link in the description. So some of these I did were avocado dyed or onion skin dyed. And then I added Kool-Aid or for the color, or Seven Gypsies Tattered Angels sprays, or something like that. It wasn't like anybody could do it. You could probably do it with food coloring, but I didn't. You guys, I live in a house with a 14-year-old. I don't have any food coloring. She uses it all. You know, crazy. Hi, Bridgeline. How are you? So, hi, Liz. If you guys go over and check out Lisa, My Eclectic Life, I'll put the description link I'll put it in the description box, but it doesn't say, it's not called marbling paper. She calls it like coffee paper plus or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. It's not, it takes, because the last time I tried to link it to one of the videos, I was like, okay, I'm having an issue. I couldn't figure it. Hi, Nana. Hi, Peggy. How are you?
Hey, y'all. I'm glad you're here.
Hi, Jennifer. How are you? So Peggy's saying to you, Jacqueline, you were blocked from her channel the other day because you were a minor. And it was a channel not for children. These YouTube things is too much. So it wasn't on purpose. Okay. So that's what she's saying to you. Okay, so Jacqueline was saying, okay, let me go back and read the chat. Okay, she says, Janice says, howdy, y'all. And Jacqueline says, she said, do you want to hear something? Oh, that's what you were saying. You got kicked off of Journaling Live and you were asking. Oh, it was because they thought you were a child. You know, YouTube is too much. Oh, Liz says, hi, two of my favorite YouTube artists. What a lovely afternoon surprise. Yeah, I've been trying to get back in my mojo, and it helps when you have friends that have their mojo. They literally thought you were a troll, and it hurt your feelings. Oh, Jacqueline, who was I blocked from? Somebody that I'm actually really good friends with, and she said she didn't do it. Sometimes Nightbot. The other thing is, did you ever have this, APG, where Nightbot will suddenly decide that the people that are entering? So I tried to set Nightbot, okay, one time in one of my lives, and Nightbot was kicking off the regular people that were coming to the live. They were saying troll. I don't know. I think, you know, it's a computer. It's not a person doing it, so you can't take it personally. You were crying, Jacqueline. Oh no.
Right. I've never had Nightbot do that. In fact, I've only ever been able to get Nightbot work for me once.
So it was kicking off everyone in one of my lives one time, like everyone. It was kicking off everyone and tagging them as trolls. It's ridiculous.
I'm using coffee today. The other day when I did it in advance, so I could show anybody that hadn't seen it what the end results look like, which I don't know what it's going to look like for me because I hadn't done it before. So cross fingers, they'll look good. Let me get rid of this one. We're going to put some color on now.
So what kind of color are you doing?
I have the Glimmer Mist.
Yeah, I like that one. I bought it. You know, they had somebody pipe in and say where it is. It's like in one of those craft. I don't buy from these places very often. It's like, it wasn't HSN, but it was like a crafter's companion or something. And they had like a whole set of them, like 20 or 30 or 40 of them for like $25. So I bought them at that time.
I got mine from Tuesday Morning. Seems to be one of my preferred stores to find stuff because it's always at reduced prices.
Yeah, so I understand.
That's, so these are actually not as soppy wet as hers looked, but.
Okay, I'm going to tell you the ins and outs on mine is that I just sprayed it on, Jamie. I didn't even use a dropper.
Well, I sprayed it on the other day when I did it, and I thought I would try the dropper this time.
Okay, because I just sprayed it on.
To get something different.
No. Hi, Elle. How are you? Oh, Elle, I loved your journaling with me for Beauty Queen's birthday. That was so beautiful. So just so you know, I do watch many of your videos, but I watch it on my phone, and my phone is not chat compatible or comment compatible.
They are not.
No, mine will write. Okay, I'll tell you. This is so embarrassing. Okay, so I was like, I love this young mother YouTube artist. She's a dancer. She's a single mom, and she like puts out content maybe once a week. Maybe she was doing it for a while. She was married and they got divorced. It was like a whole thing, and you feel bad for her because she just built up a channel.
Yeah.
So she left and gave him the channel, which I thought was stupid, but whatever.
Oh.
And then so she started her own. So sometimes I always try to leave a positive comment because she's going through a hard time and her child's young, and if you've ever had to be a caregiver for young children, it's not as easy as you might think it is. And her child has some things going on. So I chatted one day, and whatever I said, autocorrect changed it to something that was like congratulations on your big toe. I was like, okay, we're not using our phone anymore, because there was this young girl, and I'm like, I love waiting for her videos every week, and says that congratulations on your big toe. So I'm like, oh, no, I don't do it anymore. Hi, Sam. So I'm going to share with you guys. So I told you I'm going through my treasures. Okay. Confession of a craft collector. I refuse to use the H word. It is a bad word. So my sweet partner, you guys, he's not a crafter. He's an artist, but he's not a crafter. So he doesn't collect all the bits and bobs, and like he doesn't see everything in the world as a possible art supply, right? But I do. So he's going through. I have this cabinet outside in our garage, and he's been bringing books in, and I've been letting him go in my Etsy store, and some of them it's been so painful, you guys, because I've saved them for so long. And they're small books, and I had ideas for them, but the reality is I cannot get to everything that I have ideas for, and it's just how it works. So yesterday he comes in and he goes, oh, look at this cool thing I found. Okay, guys, this is like one of my I have two most coveted treasures. This is one of them, and I don't know if I can let it go yet, so I haven't. This is a wallpaper sample book from 1932. Oh. And it's from something called Mayflower. That was the company. And they're from Hamburg and Pennsylvania. And this is from Diners department store. Must have been somewhere in Pennsylvania. You guys, it has all the original pages. It is in pristine condition. And I was like, because he's just going, can I list this? Can I list this? That's what he's looking at. And I'm like, oh, no, not yet. I don't know what I want to do with it. And it has some of the best, like, coolest little illustrations. Like, look at this lady in her 30s and her little garb, It is a fabulous book. I'm just, you guys. And now, okay, so here's it's telling you this is the price page. And then now it's showing you the wallpaper samples. You guys, I found it. when I was traveling once, when I went to visit my sister on the East Coast, and we went to an estate sale, and you guys, all I bought was this wallpaper book, and back then it was, don't even remember what I paid for it, but it wouldn't have mattered because I'd have wanted it anyway. It wasn't a lot, but I probably more than I would have paid for most things. But you know what it's like when you find a treasure. I don't know if you can see this, but it's got gold in it. It's got gold.
Real gold.
It's got real gold. I was like, so when he found it yesterday, he was like, "Oh, look." I was like, don't touch that.
It's mine. It's clean. Leave it.
Well, no, I didn't want him to like put something on top of it. I know, right, you guys? So you guys look up and see if you can find one of these books. I don't know where you would possibly even find one, but Mayflower wallpaper styles. And I'm sure they must have had them for many years, but this one was from 1932. I just remember the estate sale I bought it from. I bought a kimono, and the people traveled a lot, and I bought a beautiful, it was falling apart, old Japanese kimono, which aside from quilting fabrics, kimono fabrics and silk fabrics are my weakness. And so I bought the bits and pieces of the kimono, and I bought this book, and I bought some old stationery. You know, the people had lived in the house for like 60 years, and the last person that passed away, they were having an estate sale. You guys, it even has like a slight texture, some of the pages. So I haven't quite decided. Yeah. It's hard when you have treasures like that. It's hard, right? It's like, but you guys get me. Like, I'm sure nobody else is going to go, "Oh, when you move, what are you taking with you?" And I go, "My 1932 wallpaper sample book." You know exactly what I mean, girls. You totally get it.
The house is on fire. What do you grab?
Your 1932 wallpaper sample book. Like, look at them. Some of them are so great.
Those are gorgeous.
I know, right? And it's in such good condition. I don't know how it lasted in such good condition, but it did. But don't you love that he was like, "Oh, look what I found. What are we gonna?" And so I just thought I'd share it with you since grab the wallpaper book, right, Nana? So ridiculous. So that's why I just thought I'd share with you. You guys, I found, I can't even tell you. And the crazy thing is that somewhere in my head, I know that I have it all, right? Because I go to look for it, and then I'll be like, "Where was that? Was that a dream?" You know? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Only my problem is because my second marriage was 20-something years, okay?
Okay.
And I still stop and think, was that this one or was that the lifetime before that I had that, whatever that was?
Oh, you
I'm like, I know I own that. No, not anymore.
Well, I've had that issue too, and not because of a marriage thing, but because I've moved so many times. And so one day, one of my older daughters, she was like saying something to me, and I said, "I know I have this pot." Because you guys, if you don't know anything about me, I love to cook. Well, I used to really love to cook. Now it's meh. When you have picky eaters, it's not so fun anymore. But but I'll say, "I need that pot," you know, and my oldest daughter, because she's obviously lived with me through many moves or visited. If she wasn't living with me, she'll say, "Oh no, Mom, that was 3 houses ago." So I get it. I completely get it. And so, but no, it was so, you guys, I found like these sweet little books that I had collected, and, you know, with the thought that I was gonna, you know, make all kinds of stuff with them, and I just haven't done it. So Jacqueline says, the funny thing, her paint store near her gave her 6 wallpaper books for free, but I didn't know what to do with them. So I threw them out. You were so mad. Oh, you'll find some new ones. Just ask the universe, Jacqueline, and they'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Peggy says, put it in my will. Peggy, you know, if I keep it too long in living in this climate, because I had it put inside of a big plastic bag, it may not last, but my kids you guys are going to throw all my stuff out. Okay. They will. How many of you guys live with people like that just don't understand that the things that you've collected, I refuse to use the H word, that they just think it's ludicrous. Although saying that, whenever one of my kids needs something, trust me, they call up, Mom, I need this. Do you have it? I need some ribbon. Now, ask me for practical things, maybe not, but artist style supplies, absolutely. You know.
So these are the papers I did the other day, and they're dry. I might not be able to unfold them.
Yeah, hang on. Let me put them straight. Let me just put it all on you. Hold on. I haven't gotten the StreamYard thing down, you guys. I'm trying.
But anyway, there. Okay. So they're pretty dry. What I did with these actually was it's the cardstock ones anyway. I crumpled them up before I got them wet with beet juice. Beet, B-E-T, B-E-E-T. I can't spell, but whatever. And I crumpled them up and then uncrumpled them and got them wet and recrumpled them before I put the tattered angels on there.
Oh, those are beautiful. They came out great.
I got my iron.
Yeah. Oh, girl, I ironed paper. I don't either. I ironed paper the other day. So much paper. It was ridiculous, but it worked. Jacqueline, I'm just going to tell you this. You can look on Etsy, and there's tons of people that have lots of wallpaper. But the thing is, if you're going to get if your old wallpaper is going to be a little bit more expensive, but new wallpaper, call back that paint store and see if they'll give you a book, or it's just heavy. Newer wallpaper is heavy to mail. Hi, Dee. Hi, Tammy. Tammy says
a local store.
Yeah, it's much better. Tammy says her older son said when she leaves the world, there's going to be a huge bonfire. Oh, girl, I get it.
My husband's Aunt Mary up in Amarillo, when her son used to tell her, when you die, I'm just going to park a dumpster out front and scoop everything out with a big snow shovel and throw it away. Not even go through it. And I have a feeling he did that.
It's crazy, right?
We know our kids really don't care about our stuff. So we've kind of, decided amongst ourselves, just the two of us, that we're going to start weeding out all except for what we want to keep, see around all the time, because nobody else cares about it. They really don't. I mean, they wouldn't know if it was valuable or not. I like that.
I like it too. Oh, I made that book for my daughter, and I have to tell you, I made it all out of Lisa's. What I did, because, okay, you guys, I'm a last minute kind of person. Hey, Cheryl. I am not on purpose, but my daughter didn't initially want anybody to do anything for her wedding, and I was trying to respect that. And then my sister called me and she said, you will feel so bad if you don't do your thing, even if she rejects it,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, she's right. And then she called me and she guilted me and she said, Mom wouldn't, she played the mom card, and our mom's been gone a while, and our mom was an artist. She was amazing, amazing, amazing. So that's why it was last minute. It wasn't because I was like not planning ahead. It was because I was trying to, the hard thing for me, and maybe you guys that have grown children can pipe in. It's like being respectful of the boundaries that they would like, but still being yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I was trying to be really respectful, of what she was asking. And then anyway, so that's why you guys saw that video at 3 a.m, and I was whispering, and somebody said, could you please talk louder? No, I couldn't, because I was filming this video in my bedroom at my little crafting table with my partner sleeping 2 feet away. And I was trying to be respectful because we all had been up for days doing stuff for her. So I made that complete journal using Lisa's technique and some other junk journaling things, like some maps and some other things. But what I did was I decided, I don't know how many pages it ended up being, but I decided, say it was 40 pages. So I dyed them all one base color and then did them 3 pages at a time, on a big, huge baking sheet, colored 3 pages green, 3 pages yellow, 3 pages pink.
Yeah.
like that. It was easier, but they come out so good. So Samantha, I'm going to go back in the chat. She says, Samantha says she's been decluttering everything just for that reason. It's going to be gotten rid of if you do it. The hard thing is, don't you find as you go through your treasures, you can remember the project or you were thinking about the project that you wanted to do. And then you're like, oh, I still have time to do that project. And you don't. Hi, Debbie.
See, I love making journals. I really do, but I don't really use that many of the ones I make. And then I do love putting journaling spots and pockets and all that in them, but I never go back and journal in them. That's just something I don't do.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you've ever watched Jessica Rapp at Two Silver Oranges, she never journals, and she makes the most beautiful journals. So, and she sells them. So that's the other thing, guys, is trying to let go of your treasures. You kind of feel like, you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah.
Liz is sharing that she sometimes throws away things that she realizes later were treasures. And now she has, and that you'll never ever use. Oh, girl, we all have that. Hi, Eileen. It is real Jamie. Eileen saying it's real Jamie.
It's real Jamie. Hello, darlings.
It's like real gold. She's real gold.
Real
Jamie.
gold.
She's real gold, Jamie.
It is real gold.
So Diana's saying that her family kind of does similar, but when they're looking for something creatively, they come right to her. And she says she works best under the no rules, no guises projects as well. So, yep, I get it. I so get it.
I'm pretty happy with these.
I'm so happy with them. I love Lisa. I'm so grateful that she did it. And I got to watch her on my phone. Made sure I didn't write congratulations on your big toe on her video.
See, I watch a lot. Y'all, I go to bed with y'all a lot, often. Wake up with y'all, watch you in the middle of the night, and there's no chatting on the television.
No, I get it.
I can now see chat when I'm watching on TV, but it's almost a distraction because I can't chat back.
Yeah, and I didn't used to leave up my chat, especially if it was a Friday night, because sometimes it used to get a little risque, and I didn't want anybody. I wanted anybody to feel like they were, safe in the chat, that it didn't need to be repeated. But when we do the live stream hop, I leave the chat because I think people are put it this way, I got enough little emails saying I wanted to see what they said,
Yeah.
Eileen says, as long as I've known Jamie, I have never seen her iron a thing.
That's right. I have never ironed on TV vision before.
But with these papers, you have to iron them. Unlike other dyed papers, you don't necessarily have to iron. But these, I found I needed to iron, and they don't. Even if you iron them, they don't come out flat They don't come out flat.
Exactly, because these, especially the cardstock, is really. It almost feels like a store-bought handmade paper.
Yes.
Because I don't make handmade paper anymore.
Yeah, me either.
I have to say store-bought, but that's what it would feel like.
Yeah, I agree.
In my opinion, on the cardstock ones, the copy paper does have a lot of texture too, but it's softer because it's copy paper.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And it was that whatever True Ray that I got at the behest of our enabler Jean Peter artist.
Yeah.
Let's put blame where blame is due.
Well, I have to blame Kyla Givehand because she recommended it in one of the binding classes I had with her. And I rushed right out to Hobby Lobby and got some, and I've never used it.
Use it in this dyeing thing, but I will tell you. So what I did, which Lisa was so meticulous and fastidious in hers, how she painted on. Okay, you want to know what I did? I took a big old measuring cup, like a big glass Pyrex measuring cup.
Yep.
And I crumpled my papers up and dunked them in.
Well, when I did it with the beet juice the other day, I had the beet juice was in a spray bottle,
Uh-huh.
so I sprayed them. But because I was using old coffee today, I had it in the measuring cup because I reconstituted. I started drinking coffee again. I had stopped drinking since I had the head injury because I didn't like it anymore, and I couldn't
Right.
stand the way it smelled even. But anyway, I like it again now. Yay! But I like the little Folgers tea bag ones.
They have a Folgers tea bag coffee?
Yeah, you can get Folgers in a little. It's like a tea bag.
Oh wow!
And they recommend one bag per cup. Well, that's just a little too potent for me. I can go dip, 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 and I'm good. And then I set that aside, and I use it again tomorrow or for the next cup. And then I'll do that with a new tea bag. And then after I get 2 old tea bags, I put them together. I mean, I'm pretty frugal. Okay, you can almost call me Joyce sometimes.
I love Joyce.
And I get every penny out of that stuff. And so what I do is I also will save those older tea bag or coffee bags, and then I will, when I get enough, like 5 or 6 or 8 or however many, I will take them apart and keep the dry coffee in a little baggie. So when I do coffee dyeing, I can put the coffee in a glass measuring cup, add water, and heat it up. And now I've got, I squeeze out every damn penny I can get out of them coffee bags.
I think that's a great idea.
And then you get the coffee bag too.
Oh yeah, you know what? I haven't seen.
That's a very interesting one.
I don't know if but I love it. I don't know if we have that here, coffee bags.
It's Folgers brand. I've never seen any other brand do it. I got them when we were traveling because you couldn't always get a decent cup of coffee, but you could pretty much always get a hot water.
Right.
And they're excellent for camping and hiking and actually all that kind of stuff. If you like coffee.
Okay, let me answer a couple questions. First of all, let me say hi to Emma. Emma, I ordered a bunch of stuff from you, girl. I'm excited to get it. So, Starving Emma. Emma, where do you live? Slovenia? Anyway, I'm so excited. I ordered some stuff from Starving Emma. And if you guys haven't gone to her channel and you like recycling crafts, because I'm a little bit addicted to that, you'll see way more recycling crafting than even I do, which is saying a lot because you know me. I'm a little bit like Jamie with the craft supplies. I hoard them. I hoard them and I. So Elizabeth is asking, when I crumple them and put them in a Pyrex, do I leave them to dry crumpled? Yes, you leave them to dry crumpled. But I will tell you this: when you do, at least, so I just dunked my coffee, or I did it with tea, because I was drinking tea that day. And I also was cleaning out my tea drawer, and because one of my daughters, okay, you have to realize I'm a crafting supply collector, and my kids are minimalists. So they come over and they open like my tea drawer, and if there's like a lot of tea in there, then they start giving me a hard time. Okay, just saying.
Yeah.
So one of my daughters had been over, and she was like, my older daughter, it's my little one. She's a crafter artist. So she saves right now. She's saving toilet paper rolls, you guys. She makes toilet paper roll characters. She makes, she lets me show them to you sometimes. They're actually really good. And she is hilarious. So, so she came over and just pointed out that I was having a tea collecting moment. And so I said, okay. So I started drinking more tea. So what I did was I just crumpled I did a little bit like Jamie. I made my cup of tea, and then I took the tea bag out, and maybe I had 2 or 3 cups of tea over a few day period. But newsflash for where I live, you have to keep that in the refrigerator, even those moist tea bags, because they will mold, and that is gross. So after I had 3 or 4 tea bags from drinking tea, I just reconstituted them, as Jamie says. And I crumpled up the paper ahead of time, and I dipped the whole crumpled piece in the cup, and then put it directly onto a baking sheet. And then, yes, you leave it crumpled up because then you have a next step. The next step is to add your color. So I used Kool-Aid, Glimmer Mists, some other weird dye things that I had. I used avocado dye afterwards. So if I dipped it in the tea and then I put it on the page, and then while it was still wet, I added all the whatever else I was going to. And yeah, so how long do they last, Jackie? As long as you want them. So Emma says she's excited. Oh, Emma, you had so many things in your shop that see, this is the hard part. Okay. I never had the time that I have now to like look on Etsy or looking on eBay, or I didn't have the time because I was working jobs. I was working like 2 jobs. You guys, it's the cost of living where I live is so crazy expensive that I was working 2 jobs. I was managing an art gallery, and I did a bunch of different things. Managing an art gallery full time, and then working. One job I had, I was working for a resort, and I was working that job like 25 hours, and the other one like 35 hours. And then one night a week, I'd sell art in a different art gallery because I've had from the whole time I've lived here, I've had kids in college or in private school, and that is like, so whatever your life fees are, add another 15 or 20,000 on top of it, so I've always had something like that. So now that I have the time, I'm able to like go through and look at everybody's cool shops. And you guys, I love supporting you, and I will use them. I'm so excited to use all the cool stuff I'm getting. So I have to let go of some of my other stuff. So let's say, bye, Kim. Have a great day. Thanks for stopping. Hi, Tanya. I just saw you, girl. I'm sorry if you chatted earlier. Okay, let's see.
Hello, everyone. I am doing my usual not looking at chat thing.
That's okay. I can tell you. So Elizabeth is asking, let it dry completely crumpled before stretching it out and ironing. I did that. Jamie did that too.
Yeah, I painted, where did I put them? Hang on. I painted some with coffee just a while ago. Just brushed it on with a paintbrush, then crumpled them up, and then put on my color with, I use Tattered Angels because I have it, and so I'm actually trying to use some junk up treasure. And then this is some I did a few days ago because I had never done it before. So
you guys, it's so addictive. We encourage you to do it.
I tell you what, they are they're pretty magical.
They are, and they come out
magicals.
Yes, they come out like in my world. If you've ever done eco dyed papers, they come out a little bit like the way an eco dyed paper is.
Yes. I'm going to agree with you on that because you've got darker spots but it just kind of melds out. And then you've got that, whatever color you first, put on there, whether it was tea or coffee or avocado or onion skin, any of that.
Yeah, my family thinks I'm a little nuts in that department too, because I will have some very innocent tinctures in my fridge. My daughter's like, "Oh, what is this?" I'm like, "Oh, that's for crafting." I'm like, "No, avocado tea, no onion skin tea, no eucalyptus skin tea. The eucalyptus bark from the trees here tea." My daughter's like, "Oh my God."
I've been saving my avocado seeds, and I've got them in the freezer because I've got a little refrigerator out here in the studio. So I've got them in this freezer, and I probably have enough that I need to start, boiling them up. I don't know how many it takes. How many does it take, Shelley?
You know what? I've done them with as little as 1 avocado skin. I've done because, okay, so the other thing is, so I told you guys my oldest daughter and her husband are working on a film. I just made some of you guys mods because I didn't see if we had any mods in our chat. And if you don't want to do it, just say, "Hey, I don't want to do it." It won't hurt my feelings, but I just was like letting you know. Just
kick them out. Kick out those trolls.
No, can I tell you? The other day I had the most I don't know whose chat it was in, but it was one of the most, you know, sometimes it gets like really, you get like, you're like, wow, that's like totally, totally horrible. You know, they just say stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Some of them do.
And you're kind of like, why are they saying that? So let me read what other people said. So Tanya said, you went to our Hobby Lobby, Jamie. What? How was it?
No, I didn't go to y'all's Hobby Lobby. Oh, wait. Yes, I did. I went to the one here in Conroe. This is Tanya Woodard. Yeah.
You guys get to craft today? I mean, you guys get to craft together? I'm so jealous.
We have not. We didn't know we lived this close together until after the plague started.
Oh, no. The plague. Oh, my God. Can I tell you? It's like, yeah, it's a little bit wearing me out. And I'm not saying that it's not wearing everybody else out. I'm just saying, I'm speaking for myself, because sometimes I get comments. Sometimes somebody goes, well, it's wearing me out too. No, I'm including everyone.
Yeah.
I'm an equal opportunity adder.
Yeah. We are still being as careful as we can be, you know, because my husband is high risk.
So Liz is asking, are you ironing them wet, Jamie? No, I think that
I am on the deli paper, because the deli paper seems to, no, they were dry, but I'm spritzing the deli paper because it seems to be kind of sticking to itself.
Oh,
for
okay.
some reason. But
I haven't done deli paper.
It's a very lightly waxed paper, so that may be why. I don't know.
Yeah. She's doing, Jamie did copy paper, cardstock, and deli paper. I only did that True Ray paper. I did do some map pages, but I used those already, or I'd show them to you. I did map pages, copy paper, and that True Ray thick paper.
Oh, you did the map papers.
It came out really good because, okay, that's the other problem I have. Okay, since we're just doing true confessions, the other problem I have is I hoard maps. I can't help it. You guys, I can't walk away from an atlas or map, especially if it's in the trash. I can't. I just can't. So I can't walk away.
My towel stuck to my tabletop because when I heated it up, it made the acrylic paint on here get hot and sticky.
Oh no. Yeah, well, those are crafters issues, right?
Yeah. Oh, y'all, these are so pretty. I don't know how well they're coming on screen, but
they look beautiful. But in person, they're even nicer. You guys, so back to my daughter's little book. So since my sister gave me such a hard time, and rightfully so, you guys. And I went ahead, so I made that book, and it was last minute because I had asked her. I'm trying to learn the boundaries of adult children parenting, or whatever it's called, friendshipping or whatever, right? And yeah. And so I was trying to follow her because she's like, I don't need anything. I don't want anything. Do any of you guys have kids like that? So, you know, in her mind, she wanted to do it all herself. So I said, okay, she let me make her wedding cake. And I knew that we were going to make her a really special wedding cake topper. She had no idea. But I had already discussed that with my hottie. And she let my daughter and I make her rings. Well, my daughter did most of it. I only made one like little tiny part of it. So last minute, my sister, after she gives me my lecture, I found myself, okay. And I had wanted to make her make her a little journal out of some of those quilting squares that I've been collecting. And because I come from a long line of textile artists. And when I got married, or put it this way, one of my grandmothers was not even alive when I got married, but when I turned 14, this is how serious my family is about their craft. Hi, Kayala. See, my daughter's right here in the chat. She said, yes, I totally did say that, right? She didn't want my help. So my grandmother gave me one. So that's the bride right there. You guys say hi to the bride, Violet. She's the bride.
Hello.
So So one of my grandmothers, this is going to sound a little morose, but if you're from Texas, you'll understand. When I was 14 years old, I was visiting her, and she said, I may not be here when you get married, and I want to make you a wedding quilt. And she gave me a log cabin style quilt. Now you have to realize my grandmother died when I was 30, and she was almost 100. So how old was she when she was probably like 83 or 82. And some of the fabrics in this log cabin quilt were her mother's. So they were old. So let's just say the quilt I kept it in my closet till I got married. And then, I did all the things that she had wanted me to. But over the years of moving, it didn't last. I still have little tiny pieces of that quilt. So that's why I wanted to make her that. So that's why I was up whispering in that video, you guys, because it was 3 o'clock in the morning and I had just finished it. Because you also have to know something else about me. I am the worst when it comes to finishing something. How many of you guys I'll start it and then I think it needs a little bit more, it needs a little bit more, it needs a little bit more. So I had already made a whole book for her, and my older daughter, who's the critic, she said, I don't like it. I wouldn't want to get it. So I had to start all over. Okay. But in the end, I think you liked it, didn't you, Vo? Well, Vo's mother-in-law liked it. I'd never met her mother-in-law till the wedding, and her mother-in-law goes, "That's very artistic." So if you guys go back and watch my video, you can see her. You can see the quilted. But so do you love it? I finished a whole book, and my older daughter's like, she's like, "I don't like it." Oh, it was a beautiful book. It made you cry. Oh, I'm glad. Well, what's super cool is because, she didn't get to have the big wedding that she wanted. She only could have a small one because you could only gather in groups of 10 here.
Yeah.
So I brought it with me to our little reception, and I had all the people that were there write in it. And and my kids wrote in it. Everybody wrote advice, recipes, fun things. And then I figured after they got married and after later on we could add photos, right? Because then, but I also know she's getting ready to move too, and she didn't want to take a bunch of stuff with her too. So that was kind of like the dilemma, is this going to be viewed as just one more thing to have to move? You know what I mean, Jelly Bean? Like my wallpaper book.
Now, I am really good at finishing stuff, except paid for classes that I buy online.
I get it. I know, I'm right there with you.
I seem to not follow through with that. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I paid for it, right?
Yeah.
I typically do watch all the videos. I just don't finish the project. And I don't know why that is. And I seldom do like the instructor says anyway, and you're there so you can learn how someone else does something. Right?
Yes, I get it. I totally get it.
I want to do it my way.
Jamie, I wish I could tell you you're alone, girl. I'm right there with you. So I'm right there with you.
I don't take a whole lot of online classes, really. I've got one that I'm thinking about doing for, it's supposed to be for all of next year. I don't remember the name of it. It's not Lifebook or one of those. It's something else. And I keep thinking, do I really? Because I know how I am. So I don't know.
Well, I understand. I get it. I have bought a few classes. Sometimes I do it just to support the person because I really like them. And
right.
I just want to put this out there to some of you guys. And I am not telling you to open up an Etsy shop because can I tell you, I forgot because I mentally blocked it out. It's a little bit like childbirth. You forget about it, then you go and have another one. It's like this. So I forgot how mentally and ridiculously draining having putting something online to sell is, okay? And if I didn't love my supplies so much and want them to find a good home, I wouldn't do it, okay? Because quite honestly, it's like, it's a lot more work than the money that, in my world, okay? I'm not speaking for everybody else, okay? But if you guys have people out there that love you, they want to find a way, especially during this pandemic, to support you. Now, I'm not telling you all to run out there and have a bunch of live sales, but I am telling you that if you like I took a class from, I registered for a class from Tiffany Smith. I love her. Okay.
I do too.
I have not finished the class. Please, Tiffany, if you ever hear this, it's not you, girl. It is me. I have my own issues, but I wanted to find a way to support her because I love her. Okay. I love her content the same way. Like I bought some papers from Emma or, whatever. It's not because look, I don't need another thing, you guys. I really don't need another thing, but I want to find a way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm just putting it out there. So like, if you have a lot of UFOs like I do, or you have a lot of projects, you go, okay, I have that, or if you're hoarding craft, I can't have that H word. If you're collecting craft supplies like me, and you go, okay, I'm going to find a good home for them, because some of the stuff like that wallpaper book, you guys, I've been collecting that for years. Okay. I've been collecting that one for years, but people want to support you. So I understand, like I took a class or I signed up for a class. You guys, I haven't even started it. It's like so horrible. From, I don't know how to say her name, and I'm probably going to say it right, but I love her. Orly Avenary. You know her? She's Israeli. Orly. I don't know. Anyway, it's just, I signed up for a class. She just put an online class up maybe a couple months ago, and I haven't even started it, you guys. But I will do it. And I'm like Jamie, I may not do it her way, but I'm going to do my best. Okay, let me see. Diana says there's always one. There's always one in every crowd. Are you speaking about the critical daughter or the collecting of craft supplies? Nana says, any tips on packing up a studio? Oh, girl, not from me. I'm not the one. Do you know who you need to ask? Kathy Berg. Have you guys seen Kathy Berg's freaking studio? It's awesome. She's the neatest crafter I've ever seen. Liz is saying 30 watching, Shelley sees 20 likes. Oh, thumbs up are really good. Even thumbs down are good because YouTube doesn't distinguish between the two.
Aunt Beck also, because she is just, she's kind of like in the process right now of moving.
I know, right?
And packing up her stuff. So
Moving
Beck
is painful. Moving is painful.
What she did with a lot of her extra stuff that she didn't want to move, but she didn't want to throw away either, she put them in the larger U.S. postal boxes and sold them, as a box. It's a mystery box. You get what you get. And I don't think she charged necessarily over postage either. She may have just charged what postage rates were. I don't remember. So that's a good way.
Message Aunt Beck. Tanya says she's here, Jamie, anytime, totally not exposed to anyone because she hasn't left her house since April.
Oh, God bless you. I have left the house. That's just it. I have to go grocery shopping and stuff like that. But they don't let me go to the hospital anymore. So I can't go there.
Liz says, Jamie, you watch instructors to confirm that your way is still the best way.
Is that right? Okay. That makes perfect sense.
And Tanya says,
that makes perfect sense.
To confirm that you're still you're still gluing right, girl.
Yeah.
And Tanya says, that's what she does with me. Girl, don't you know I know it? And I just mailed out your books, or I'm mailing them out today. And just so you know, I'm going to send you a separate letter because, okay, this is how strict stupid media mail is here. I don't know if this is the same way. And Tanya, I really appreciate it. Plus, you got some good treasures, girl. I'm telling you, some of them I was like, oh, I love that. I don't want to let it go. It's hard. Anyway, the struggle's real. Anyway, so we have like the post office Gestapo here. Okay. So in some post offices, I'm serious. So one time I went in for a long time, I used to resell antique books. Like I would find, You guys, we live on an island. So let's just say many things will find their ways into a landfill. Yes, please put in the links. Go for it. Anytime, Elle, anytime. Put them in. Put them in. So when I find like a treasure, like I find the most random things, you guys. Like I got these car part manuals the other day. Okay, these working on cars. I don't know how to fix car manuals. I don't know what they're called.
Nomenclatures.
Yes, nomenclatures. And I said, oh, I'm going to cut these up for my journals because they're so cool. And they're from like the 60s. But I learned my lesson, okay? Because my partner, he's a big bibliophile. I learned my lesson. I cut up a book one time, you guys, and he came home and he goes, that book was a rare first edition XYZ ABC. And I looked it up online and it was worth a lot of money, like hundreds of dollars. So I don't do that anymore. Okay. I don't do that anymore. So, but I wanted these manuals. I'd been seeing them. They were going to throw them away because they keep them for a certain amount of time. And then they just say, okay, nobody's lovingly taking this to their home. I'm dumping it. So and they're huge. So I was going to cut them up. So I sat down to cut them up. You guys, one of them is like, they're selling it on eBay for over $100. So I could put it on eBay for $25, right? I'm not that greedy. So I have a knack for that. So I'm going to mail the books up. Thank you guys all for who came to Johnny's Junk Journal shop, Etsy Hop, and bought stuff from my shop. So I'm going to mail all the stuff out. So I go to mail. So in media mail, ready for this, that the parameters are you cannot have any sort of personal, you can't have a handwritten note in there. Okay. We have the post office Gestapo here. I've had him open up my packages and want to charge me first class postage. And some of these books are heavy. So media mail, say it costs you $3 or $4 to send a big fat book. Media mail, first class mail will be about 10 or 12. So I mailed out your packages. They don't have a handwritten note. You'll get them on the side because I don't know if the post office Gestapo is going to open my packages.
Yeah.
I mean, they say it on there, but I honestly, I don't know. I've had them open my packages and then, yeah. I don't honestly see the point to it, but I guess people do. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of power, like one of those things where somebody gets a little bit of power and it goes to their head.
Yes, I agree with you. Because we've got one fella, he says, well, this is not an envelope, it's a package. And I look at him, I never say anything back to him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And he says, what's in it? And I want to say, none of your damn business. But I don't say that. I always tell them it's just paper. And usually that is all it is. It's just paper. Well, is there a note in there? Well, no. Why would there be a note in there? I never tell them there's a note in there. And there always is.
Yeah, no, I just don't want to take the chance because I didn't want to have it sent back or whatever. So what I did was I wrote like a little notes to everybody that bought and sent them separately. Elizabeth says they have the same postal workers there too. It's so stressful sometimes because you're like trying to do. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So Bridgeline says, Shelley, make the wrapping paper into the written note. Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. You know what? I just didn't, because tensions are kind of high here right now. And I'm sure that's that way everywhere. I'm not saying it's exclusively mine as far as workers go and their exposure. Okay. Because, I think that's where some of the stress is taken out on people, and especially because think about it, the post office and the hospital and a grocery store are really the only essential workers here. Yeah, a written note on the inside of inspired wrapping paper. I actually put your books in a big box because she got some of my treasures. I've been hoarding, collecting. Can't say that word, hoarding, anymore. I've been collecting those for a while. I had some vintage sewing manuals and stuff that I loved, and they'll make, if you wanted to take them apart, Tanya, and make them journals, they're going to be like amazing to do that with. Yeah, that's what I was collecting them for, but I haven't done it. So if my daughter lets me show some of her wedding pictures when I will. She wore the most beautiful blue dress. It was beautiful. And her sweet husband wore a kilt.
Oh, how wonderful.
And they had the wedding they wanted. And then the really sad thing that happened afterwards was that the venue where they had their wedding, they're closing down. They had it at a beautiful lavender farm here up in the mountains near the top of the Haleakala crater, which is the volcano. And yeah. Diana saying USPS has been horrible lately. And hi, Juanita. Juanita says nothing liquid, flammable. Mind your own damn business. Yeah, but with media mail, it's like super strict. So, you know, I was going to part with some non-vintage wallpaper. Those wallpaper books are so big, and even media mail, it's quite pricey to send. So I was going to, and I haven't done it yet, I was going to bind it either with my cinch or in a 3-ring binder and then destash them in my shop that way, because otherwise they're never going to find a good home.
Well, you know, actually the post office is kind of a policing station, so to speak. No, seriously.
I know, but it just sounds funny.
Because there are certain things that if they transport it, it becomes a felony instead of just like a, little crime. So if it depending on different counties and states that it crosses into and what you're mailing, it can make a difference.
Very true.
And they're not going to be held responsible, so they'll be the ones to catch you.
Right. I get it. I totally understand. It's just, sometimes, you guys, for a number of years, I was selling books on Amazon. I haven't done any lately. And they would be, and the thing that you have to know is if you don't list a book, if a book is listed for less than $8, if you list a book for $8, you actually make $3 on it. If a book on Amazon is listed for less than $8, if they have some sort of bulk postage system, they might be making a little bit, because Amazon takes a cut of everything. Okay, Amazon takes a listing fee. Amazon takes a cut of everything. Okay, so that being said, if the books weren't going to be at least $8, I wasn't going to do it, because you guys, it cost me money for the whatever I was wrapping it in. Do you know what I mean? Because I was making like $3 for every $8 book I had. The guy cutting open my mailing thing, well, depending upon what you mailed it in, okay, if you were lucky enough to have something recycled that you could put it in, that's fine. But if you didn't, you paid for it. So every time he opened it and cut it open, then you had to take it back home and do it. And, it's not so cut and dry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the thing about selling stuff on Amazon is because I did that for a while back, quite a few years ago. And you pay storage fees. You have a cost of shipping it to them. Mm-hmm. And depending on the size of the item, depends on what kind of storage fee you pay. And then you pay them certain handling fees. And unless you pay $1 for something, you're not going to make any profit. That's why I quit. Because
no, I understand.
Going at.
No, I know. I mean, I haven't sold on there in a while. But I would sell I would sell like antique books and cool things like that. But I'm telling you, if it was for every $8 listing I made, I would make not quite $3. Yeah. So you figure, like, if you bought, because I used to wrap mine in bubble mailers, because with the antique books, I never wanted them to get nicked or whatever.
Right. So
the bubble mailers were, I don't know, depending upon where you bought them. So you could pay like 50 cents for a bubble mailer. So basically you're making $2.50. And, I did it more for the landfill aspect. Like, Now, when you live on an island, you suddenly become so hyper aware of the large amounts of stuff that get put in a landfill and how that's going to end up in your ocean. Okay, so anyway. Hi, Lisa. How are you? It's a federal offense. Yes, it is. Yes, there's some. It's yeah. You guys, all I can tell you is, yeah. But one year, I think I rescued my poor hottie. I rescued probably 3,000 books.
Wow.
And I didn't sell all 3,000, but what I did was I like rehomed many or found, like found ways for them to find new things. So that's a lot of books for one little person. But, I just kept reminding myself it would end up in the landfill. And that's why it is a beautiful island. And so that's why I did it. And that's unfortunately why I probably have way too many books that I don't need. But yeah. So
anytime I'm going to cut up a used book or anything like that, I go online and I check to see if it has any kind of decent value.
Oh, I'm telling you, one time I found this book and I loved it. Okay, I found it in the free part where they were going to, so they don't have it now since COVID, but before COVID, we used to have like sort of a recycling station and they would keep the books there. People could drop off books and they would keep the books there for a certain period of time. And then if nobody, say, adopted it within a week or so, they just throw them in a dumpster, okay? Because they make room for more books, all right? So I found this book and I've said to my hottie, oh, it had such cool pages. I can't remember what it was. I made a journal out of it and gave it to somebody in a swap. And I was cutting it up and I loved it. And the pages were nice and this and that. And then when he said that book, he goes, did you know what that book was? Da, 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 da. Like, no. Yeah, I don't do it anymore. I definitely don't. Like I found, oh my God, I found this. Where is it? I gave it to him. I almost cried. So I found this pattern making book and I was like, oh my God, this is so great. Because I've been saving this old sewing ephemera to make like a sewing journal. So I was like so happy. I was like, oh great, this is going to be great base pages. So he's like helping me. He's helping me go through my stuff because he's never home as often as he is now. For those of you wondering what I'm doing, I am gluing down pages because I foolishly listed in my Etsy shop that I would make tags from some of these old vintage books I have. You guys, it is so much more work than it's worth. So I don't think I'll be doing it anymore, but I'm gluing it down on manila cardstock, these file folders that I got. And so that because the pages are too thin to make tags with. So I was like so excited about this book. It's called I'll show it to you guys before I give it away, before I let it go. And I've hoarded it. Okay. I have collected it for a while. And so he's like, what is this pile of books? And I said, oh, no. Those are for my sewing journal. And he's like, okay, he doesn't care, And he's like, have you looked him up? And I said, I think I have. And honestly, guys, I thought I had looked it up. Because it's an out of print sewing manual from like the 70s. And the cheapest one online is $210. So let's say I'm not going to be cutting it up. Not that I'll sell it for $210, but I won't be cutting it up for my journal.
Yeah.
Let's see. Tanya says she's collecting her childhood books. Oh, that's so sweet. Like the ones you've read. And so Jacqueline says she has an old book and she wants to use it for a Halloween junk journal because it has a black cover. Oh, no, you can rip your pages out. I usually take all the pages out of my journal unless I'm going to glue something on top of it. Take them all out, or you can just glue pages on top of it. There's always something you can do. You haven't ruined it. So Tanya's going back and she's collecting all the books that she wants to read or read as a child. Oh, that's so
That's
good.
cool. That's a
I
really
like
fun
that.
idea.
Tanya says she'll hold it forever with me. Girl, I have to let some of this stuff go. I'm trying. I'm trying.
I'm just trying not to buy anything else.
I hear you. Well,
And
the
if I
hard part,
stay out of the stores, I don't buy anything.
I get it. Anyway, I get it. I get it, you guys. I totally get it. I'm telling you. It might be a blessing that that I don't live on the mainland, because I can only imagine what my collection would look like. Because
What really saves me is I am mostly a clearance shopper. So,
what do you try? What are you afraid to tear? What are you afraid to tear, Tanya? She's saying she's afraid to tear something. Jacqueline, look online. Lots of times people are giving away books. There's an organization across the country called Friends of the Library, and they often have giveaways or books for a dime or a quarter or stuff like that. Grover from Sesame Street. Oh, I love Grover from Sesame Street. Yes, you can get lots of free magazines from Recycle Bank. That's a really great place to collect. You have a hard time cutting up any books? Oh, that is not my issue.
I had a hard time at first. And then once I started realizing that really I'm giving it a new life, because it's going to end up in a landfill.
Yeah, no, when you live on an island, you see the landfill part, so it's really present. And it also keeps me I think that was probably one of the reasons why I started really upcycling or focusing more on recycled crafting, because first of all, everything here is really expensive if you go to buy it. And second of all, it's ends up in a landfill. So I get it. What did she say? She did have, Diana says, you're new at this. Oh, Tanya, you'll get over it. Especially if you go and find some books that are already falling apart, then you'll be like, oh, what are they going to do with it anyway?
Yeah.
Oh no, Diana says she didn't have a problem at first, but then I recanted my story to her, and now you have to take a pause. Recanted the story about cutting up the really expensive book.
I did that too, but not that expensive.
But see, I didn't know, and it was going to be thrown away anyway. So you have to realize, for me, I was like, hey, they're throwing it away. They must know, right? I mean,
you would think. But you can still find very valuable antique things at the Goodwill. So not everybody knows.
No, I agree. I found a book not that long ago. I don't know if I still have it, or I gave it. So my hottie I told you guys a story about his book collecting thing. So he's always been a bibliophile. And he brought a handful of books with him when he moved to the islands. And they were his coveted, like the ones I can't even remember what they were, but they were ones he really loved. And he put them when he got his little place. Because when we first, anyway, it doesn't matter. He had his own little place, and he had his own little storage thing for him. And he was coveting them, and he'd take them out and read them and touch them and whatever. Well, I guess one day he did it, and the books were disintegrating and falling apart. At that point, he packed them up, mailed them to a friend because he's like, I haven't collected these books for so long for the elements here to take it away. And that's the hard part about living anywhere, probably even near where you live too, Jamie, because I used to live down there. It's humid and, it's hard. So.
Yep. The best thing you can do is try to store them in an acid-free environment, inside an acid-free bag is what I should say, with one of those oxygen things that keeps the oxygen out of it. But even then, they'll start to dry rot.
Yeah. Well, no, I get it. I totally get it. That's why I better use up my wallpaper book on some project. Otherwise, it'll be dust. And then I'll be mad at myself, right?
Yep, you will.
I'll be totally mad at myself.
Yeah. Should have used it when you could.
I know, right? It's like crazy.
Because if you do use it, you will be sealing the top of it with some kind of glue or some kind of something on top of it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that will help preserve it too.
I'll tell you guys about my latest treasure. I don't know where it is. I'll show it to you. Anyway, I haven't had it that long, but yes, I went to drop off. So during our quarantine pandemic, everybody has been cleaning out their houses. So the thrift stores that they weren't open for a while, but they're open now. So they're like all, people are just cleaning out everything because you're home looking at it, right? Because before and then you were working a million jobs, so you weren't looking at it. So one day I go to drop off some books lovingly to a place that I frequent, and this lady goes, "Oh, I'm so glad I saw you." I'm like, "What?" She goes, "I've been saving this for you." She goes, "I couldn't find your phone number." So that's how bad. That's when you know you have it bad, when the people at the places where you go to, they're saving stuff for you. She goes, "I saw it and I knew you had to have it." You guys, it's an enormous book from the 60s, I think from 65 or 4, and it's the Japanese census. So it's this book that's huge, and it has maps in Japanese and lists, and it's just so cool. And I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I have to tell you, I've been looking at it and petting it quite a bit. I haven't slept with it yet, contemplated, but it's kind of big. I know. And I was like, "You saved that for me?" She said, "Yes, they were and throw it away." And I knew if anybody would appreciate it, it would be you. Isn't that sweet?
That's wonderful. Because, wow, what a treasure.
I know. So it's
the Japanese government might want that. Well, no, I'm serious. I mean, it's not just, sometimes it's not just American collectors. There are other countries that collect stuff too.
Yeah, I don't, my son-in-law, my oldest daughter's husband, he is, I don't know, what do you call it when you speak more than 5 or 6 languages? I don't know.
He's smart.
Yeah, he is smart. Anyway, he speaks Japanese, and he was the one that said, "Oh no, this is a book of the census." And he went through, he goes, "Look, and this is the block and lot and da-da-da and da-da-da." And I was like, "Oh my gosh." He was like, because, it's, to them, it just looked like a big, because the cover of it's black, and it's got I haven't tried to take it apart yet, but I think it's only held together like Japanese bookbinding style, where they stab binding. So it'll be easy to take apart.
Wow. So what Bridget, a treasure.
It is totally a treasure, and I'm like totally in it. Hey, Lori. So let me see. Nana, we don't have big high numbers here, and that's sort of the reason we haven't opened back up. The other reason is you have to realize that the majority of the population in the Hawaiian Islands is over the age of 65, and we have very little medical resources. Like the hospital on the island I live on, they have very few beds. So the reason they haven't been and we're a worldwide destination. So basically, I think they realize it could basically wipe out the population of a small island like this, or all the islands in general, if we had a big, case of it. So our numbers, and at least on my island, aren't that bad, but it's just that we were having between 30 and 60,000 visitors a day. That is a lot.
Wow.
It's a lot. So Bridgerland is sharing with Jackie that junk mail is a great source. And envelopes and inside the whites and patterns. Yes, I have a junk mail. Here, I'll show you my junk mail. I painted a junk mail. And this is not junk mail most people would keep. This is one sitting here next to me. I painted, this was like some book that was, I don't know, falling apart. And I painted it. And I think I did it on a live stream about 3 years ago, at least, maybe 3, I think. I put some duct tape in the spine because the spine was coming apart. And I took some fabric samples and sewed them and glued a pocket in. And this is all junk mail. Catalog, see, Advantage Plus, whatever that is, for the healthier you. And I painted it all. This is all junk mail. And I started, see, this is signs of the times, making visions real. I don't even know what that is. And this is like some petition that came in the mail. And so you can make a book out of anything. I make them out of magazines, girl. Watch my channel enough and you'll see I'm the queen of magazine journaling because it's just, you know, look, there's a pattern envelope. I think the first junk journals I ever made were made from just made one from a phone book once. I have to say, gluing phone book pages together is not so easy.
No, I wouldn't think so. They're crazy thin.
They are. They're crazy thin. Yeah. So this is a junk mail one, and so and it's made from just whatever you get in the mail on any given day, right? And covered in, look, even one of the envelopes is covered in a phone book. I must have been in my phone book stage. But I think you have to go through this sort of junk journal phase to and teach yourself all the ways to bind or not, or whatever you're doing. Yeah, this one's a real painted junk mail journal. And the tabs I made from a credit card when they're trying to solicit you, whatever that is. Because they were all different colored credit cards, and I just cut them up and made little tabs out of them. They were all like saying, oh, you could get your credit card with flowers on it. You could get your credit card with leopard skin on it. You could, you know. They did. It was like ridiculous. So this is like one of those. I mean, and I thought eventually I'd go back and collage in it, but I haven't. I've done a little bit, but I haven't. Because that thing called a JOB got in the way.
Yeah. They take too much time, those JOBs.
Definitely. I agree. Hi, Dania. How are you, girl? Oh, girl, we've been missing you. I was talking about you the other day, saying how much I miss you. How have you been? Oh, the good old days, flashback. Oh my gosh, if you guys saw all the stuff that I found that would really be a flashback, you guys would have been like, oh my God, you still have that? You haven't gotten rid of that? I have, yeah. I'll show you what I'm making now. I've been making these, and some of them I've finished and they look really cool. So I've been making traveler's notebook inserts from magazines. Elle saying cereal boxes, tea sleeves, tea bags. I made a whole tea bag journal. Oh, Dania, I'm happy to see you, girl. Hey, perfectly. So I've been making these traveler's notebook inserts out of magazines. And that is pretty fun. So I just take this one happened to be from a Maui magazine because I live in Maui, but I've done them with bunches of different, I did them with some vintage things that I love. Let's see, what do I have here? I don't know if I have any more. Here's one I'm working on right now. Was it's made? No, where is it? Here's one I'm making the cover for from one of these old barbecue ideals, barbecue grilling cookbook. I've made a few because I like working in a traveler's notebook. So you have the flow book I sent you in one piece. Take that thing apart, girl. So this is my latest tangent, and I have some that are really much more. What do you want to call it? Much more embellished and fun. This one's just got some papers and stuff in it. I haven't really started working in it yet, but yeah, this is my latest tangent. So, and they only need, if you want them to be for a month, put 9 pages in it because that'll give you enough size. I think 9 pages gives you, or 8 pages. 8 pages gives you enough for a month. 8 pages gives you 32 sides. So that could be like for a daily. So that's just my latest tangent. So Jackie, you can do it from anything, girl. We all have. You don't need some special supply. I mean, yeah, if you covet some, but you don't need it. Not necessary.
Not necessary. That is correct.
Doesn't mean that it'll keep you from collecting.
Ah,
Catching myself. That is a bad word. Did you see that video that Jenny Belly did about the difference between a glue book and a junk journal and a smash book?
yeah.
I don't think I 100% agree, but I appreciate her doing it.
I had a hard time listening to her in that one for some reason, which I thought was weird.
I understand. I have sometimes I have a hard time listening to people too, so I just don't. Yeah.
I don't know if I was preoccupied with something else or what, but I did notice. I specifically noticed that I was having a hard time listening.
Yeah. Well, I always like her. I mean, but I don't watch all of her videos. I mean, I think she's got great ideas. But this is my thing. The very first that I know of, now there's probably many before this, okay? So there was an artist, and I think the early 1900s, and I don't remember how old he was or anything like that. But his name was Max Ernst, and he did what was first considered, I mean, literally first considered a piece of fine art from mixing and matching books. So it would be kind of like our equivalent of a junk journal, but with, and I don't remember what he called it. I think he might have called it, I don't know. Anyway, but so that was way back then. So I don't know when the craze and then, we have Victorian scrapbooking and we have all kinds of stuff that's been going on forever, right? Civilization's been documenting itself forever.
Yeah.
So I don't think that you could label, this is just how I feel, and you guys can pipe in and tell me, oh no, whatever, I don't care. I think that however you view to do your journal that you deem junk or other is your artistic expression. So if you want to make digital prints and print it out and put all kinds of cool stuff in it, and you want to call it a junk journal, that's your prerogative. It's your art.
I agree.
It's not my place to tell you what to do, what not to do. Like, and I'm sure that, Max Ernst, who decided to do his book, which I think if you saw it, you would totally think it was a junk journal. And then there was Joseph Campbell.
Cornell.
Joseph Cornell. My hottie just walked in. He's listening to me. So Joseph Cornell also did something called, he was a surrealist. He called his work, oh my gosh, what did he call it? He called it discarded artifacts, something like that. It was like, I forgot all about him. He did his version of junk journaling, and it would be with like stuff that was thrown away. So you have Joseph Cornell, you have Max Ernst, you have all these artists that have, like, Joseph Cornell was born in 1903. So, I think that we just have to get over ourselves, and instead of labeling it or trying to fit into a niche, you just find your own form of whatever works for you and just go for it. So that's my only thing. And I love her. And I'm not saying what she said was right or wrong. I'm just saying you don't need to label it. you know?
Well, and to defend her somewhat, sort of, she did say it was her opinion, and she realized she was going to, upset a lot of people.
Well, no, she didn't upset me. I
No,
mean,
no, no, I'm not. Yeah.
I understand why she said it, because I think, like, basically people just call anything that you, like a printable, like if you make a digital thing and they make a book out of it, they call it a junk journal. But my thing is, like, who cares? Who freaking cares?
That's right.
Who cares? I mean, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, people that have made a living at it, or where it's really been considered a high form of art, that when they were working in it, they were probably doing it out of necessity or out of creativity, right? Like,
Exactly.
oh, I have all this. What am I going to do with it? I think you have to do what you like. I think you have to do what works for you.
I agree.
So if you want to paint, Elizabeth says, yeah, in the end, who cares? It's all book arts, Dee said. What? Who's gone? I missed it. Yes, who's gone, Kat? I missed that. Let's see. Let me go back up. Oh, Dania, big hugs, girl. I love you. I'm so glad you're here, and I've been thinking about you. You've been on my mind, so I'm happy you're here. Jacqueline, the book I just showed you with all that painted mail is the junk journal. I mean, you can make a junk journal anything you want to make it in. Oh, is mine a junk journal or an altered book? Well, I guess it could be considered both. I mean, I don't know.
It's an altered book you turned into a junk journal.
It's just painted junk mail. It was like one of those things where we were painting junk mail. Yes, I agree. Bridgelyn said it's hard. It's part of the fun, seeing what you can scavenge for free. Okay, I missed who we're missing. Hi, Linda. Let's see. Being creative is necessary. You're teasing me, girl. You can tease me anything. You can. Oh, you're teasing the aforementioned video, girl. I get it. Oh, here it is. So Kat says, a lady from her church used old phone books to write and put pictures in. She had a huge bunch of them filled with her life and happiness. She died at 88 years old. Oh, that's so beautiful. I agree. Denise says a lot of people don't know art as we know it. And I just feel it like this. If this makes it more accessible for you to art every day, to relieve whatever you're going through or express yourself, call it whatever the hell you want to call it. Pardon my French.
Exactly.
I am sure that there is, like, I told you, my hottie calls my artwork pity pat art, and he doesn't mean it in a derogatory way. Just as I sit down and I go patting, and he's a fine artist, so like, he says, I can't do that. I said, oh yeah, you can. All you need is just go, like, you're done.
He's afraid that if he gets started, he knows where he's going to end at. Right next to you.
He is afraid if he gets started, he'll end up right next to me. You know what? I often ask him to craft with me. When I get my new setup, which I'm hoping is not too far in the distant future, I told him I wanted him to come on and do some pity pat art with me. He said, okay. He paints beautiful portraits, and he can paint anything. Me, on the other hand, I'm not attached to any of it, so I just paint junk mail. So what did you do today? I painted some junk mail. Oh, how'd that work out for you? Oh, it was great. It's like whatever gets you through it. It's like there's no rules. Let your imagination, let you figure it out for you. Like what works for you. No rules. No rules. Hi, Norma.
I'm so glad to see so many people in the house.
No, so Norma's painting her living room trend, baseboards, doors, and trying to finish up today. Oh, girl. Love, love, love you.
I've been thinking about painting our bathroom. Thinking about it.
We've been thinking about paint. We're going to help our youngest one. She wants to paint her room and do some stuff. So we're trying to figure out when we can do that based on the fact that she usually has lots of homework. This remote school has been good, but it's also been lots of, I don't think people, like when you don't see somebody face to face, you can sometimes not realize that what you're doing is too much, especially when you're like 13, 14, you know?
Yeah.
So I think she's having her own thing. Hey, Deb, how are you? Everything has been redone and called something different. You're absolutely right, Elle. Absolutely right. What was that? I was watching somebody the other day that I thought was so talented. And she was using like the throwaway paper that I sometimes Jilly print on. The throwaway paper, you know, like those shopping the shopping, whatever you call them, the inserts that you get in your mail when you're for shopping. She she turned it into a 3-dimensional animal. She was like taking those shopping inserts and making paper art. I was like, wow, she's definitely leaps and bounds above me. Well, Nana, she wants her room redone. She's like, because now she's remote schooling in there. She's just like, I understand. Like, whereas before, maybe you were only in there hanging out. She wants it redone. So she wants a smaller bed. She wants us to, we were configuring our living room space and going to let go. We have a sofa and a love seat. We're going to let go of like the 2-seater love seat. So she's like, can I have that in my room? So we said, yeah, but we can't have that in your room and the big bed. So she's letting go of her bed. So I've got to find her a bed today. And then she's gone through her closets and gotten rid of a bunch of stuff. She wants her closet to be more of a universal closet, not just for clothes. So that's a whole thing. She's got her vision. She's definitely a visionary. So she wants it. So we're like, okay, we'll do it. Hey, Kimberly, how are you? Hey, Kathy, how are you?
I'm so glad to see everybody that I'm ignoring in chat.
No, they're all happy to see you too. You're working on your little collage, little mini book. What book are you working on, APG?
This is the stamp book I made. I don't know when. There's video. If it's posted, there's video. It's made out of a file folder, a black, gray. It's really cool file folders. And it's just for stamps. I'm just going to put pretty stamp pages in it. Postage stamps.
I love that.
One of the someone in one of the Facebook groups sent me a little envelope with postage stamps in it.
Well, that was nice.
I don't know who it was. I just have a return address. It didn't get a name or anything. I'm not even sure which group it was from, to tell you the truth.
Hi, Laura Lou. Laura Lou says, happy to be ignored by you, Jamie. Hi, Joni.
Oh, yay.
So, hey, will somebody put APG's, I know in the description box I put her channel. You guys go over and like and subscribe. She does her scuffs, which I love, but it's always early in the morning for me.
It is early for you.
So I don't get to watch a lot of things that come on that early. Like if I happen to have insomnia and I'm up, I do. Or if I had to get up for some really early morning thing, I do. But most of the time, Yeah, Dee Dee Willingham comes on like 4 in the morning here for me, so that doesn't work sometimes. Unless I have insomnia and I'm already up. And then it works perfect, right? Did you go to Shannon Green's sale the other day, PG?
I was there for a little bit, and then I lost internet because I think that's when the storm was coming in. We started losing electricity the day before, off and on. Of course, we've got a generator, so I mean, it it's only out for us like 10 seconds before it comes back on, but everything has to reboot. So,
Kathy, I have had no set schedule. I'm trying to get back in the groove, but it has not been easy. You guys, I'm struggling with that part. And so I thought if I could just try to get into the groove of it, I'd be able to figure it out. I used to come on in the nighttime for you guys, but it would have been late afternoon for me. It was like right after I picked my daughter up from school before dinner, right? Because I would come on, it'd be like 2 or 3 o'clock my time, which is 9 o'clock East, depending upon if you get, because Hawaii doesn't do daylight savings time. But I haven't been able to, guys, I just haven't been able to get in the groove. It's not been easy. You got it. You got one, Nana? Oh, good. Nana got a Shannon Green junk journal. Good for you, Nana.
yay.
Yeah, it was a little too pricey for my taste. I couldn't do it.
I saw someone, I think it was the same person maybe. I was thinking, wow, you got money, girlfriend.
No, I mean, I would have loved one of her little magazine journals. You know, the ones where she sewed. Are they Coptic stitch binded? Or you know what I'm talking about? Did you ever see them? I would have liked one of those.
She was calling them. Was she calling them crisscross?
Yeah, she was crisscross.
Like that. Yeah, I think those were Coptic of a sort.
You got one too, Tanya, for cheap? Oh, good girl.
Yay.
That's awesome. I love Shannon Green, you guys. I think she's the bee's knees. And I have bought many a custom keeper and whatever she's selling in her store. I have purchased everybody like 4 or 5 of them for my kids for them to use. I don't know if they ever did. Good for you, Tanya. You got a treasure.
Yeah. I'm glad she did so well.
No, me too. Are you kidding? So, Diana, this is for you, APG, because we know that you love this. So, Diana's saying, let's talk about tacky glue. Anyone else finds it hard to squeeze out of the big bottles? Do they make the upside down ones anymore? So, you have to know that is APG's glue of choice.
It just depends on if you can find the upside down one. It is my favorite glue. It says so right here on the bottle. Okay. The trick that I use, not that it's a trick, is I actually make the hole just a little bit bigger, cut off a little bit more of the tip. I keep the lid on it and store it upside down. And it does better that way for me. This was a close second lately. What I really like the tip. It's a much thinner glue, like the Scotch quick dry glue. That's what I equate it to. It's kind of expensive, and you can only get this tip when you buy the set through Amazon. It's this size bottle and then a refill bottle, and it comes with the tip. Now this fancy doololly, that was a gift from Happy Diane.
Thank you, Happy Diane. I
know, I loves it. So, but yeah, the tacky glue.
I have some art glitter glue. I don't know that I like it better than tacky glue.
I like it because it's got the little tiny tip. And if you've got little places that are sticking out, you can just stick that right underneath there.
Okay.
And just get it right there. You can't really do that with the big tacky or the Aleen's.
Have you gotten one of those blue bottles? Sorry, the dog is, I don't know who she's barking at, but she's been hypersensitive, our little rescue dog lately. So has anybody gotten those new glue bottles? I know everybody I think they were meant for frosting, or were they meant for, I don't know. And for a while, everybody was getting them. I haven't done it. So anybody want to pipe in? They're made by, I think they're made by, I don't know if they're made by.
Yeah, some kind of cake decorating place.
Right.
I don't know how that would be much better than the glue, the bottle that it comes in, other than it's a softer plastic to squeeze. I don't find this hard to squeeze.
Fabrifex?
Yeah, personally. But then again, when I'm using it, I tend to lay it sideways. So it's going to be ready when I'm ready. I don't have to wait for it to come out. That's why I do the upside down thing. I don't have to wait for it to get back to the tip to squeeze it out.
Hi, Barb.
So
I like your idea of putting it in a bottle. So Lisa says Amazon shows upside down bottles available.
Okay. Hey,
Liz says it's Sugar Bells is the name of the thing, and they're frosting bottles.
That's it.
So I saw everybody's going crazy for them. I haven't bought one. You guys, I'm still good with putting the glue on with my finger or with a paintbrush, or I'm not that precious yet.
From the Dollar Tree down here, what is it? Crafter's Choice at the Dollar Tree, I guess. This is really nice to smoosh that the glue around with, thicker glues. And it's one of those silicone doohickeys.
Yeah, I have that, but mine came as a face mask brush. One of my kids bought me a face mask, and I was like, ooh, I love that brush. She was like, Mom, it's meant for a face mask. I'm like, oh, no. It's I told you. I see everything as an art supply.
I can just peel the glue off and then use it from my face. It'll be fine. It'll be just fine.
Oh, my gosh.
I like my little stamp pages.
They're coming out really good. They look really, really good.
I'm not putting much thought in it. I'm just putting together stuff that makes me happy at that moment.
I think it's coming out really good. I like it.
I need to put something on these, I guess. Not really.
No, I think it looks good. I mean, it's up to you. That's what I'm telling you about never knowing when you're done. Like, not for you, but for me. Like, working on my daughter's little book. And I was like, okay, and it needs this. And I finally, I was like, I have to surrender. It has to, at some point, you just got to be done. I'm not saying with your book. I'm just saying with my project.
No, sometimes you do. You just have to stop.
Elle said she bought all the face mask. She bought all the face mask spatulas at your Dollar Tree. Girl, we don't have a Dollar Tree. Okay. Okay. Correction. Liz says Sugar Bells are icing bottles, not frosting bottles. Okay.
Oh whatever. My gosh. One person's frosting is another person's icing.
That's so true. We're just going to go with that.
I guess you frost a cake and you ice a cookie?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's kind of a question.
It is such a question.
One of these Dollar Tree blending brushes that I bought and have never tried.
Oh,
my Dollar Tree doesn't have these anymore.
Let me see. Oh, I like that.
They've not had them since I bought this one, and I haven't used it.
Is it supposed to be for makeup, or is it for
makeup?
Crafting?
Makeup. But they've been using them, they being other people, have been using them for the ink. Which, when they're using it with the stencils, it looks like it's much better than the foam stuff.
Well, that's good to know.
But I haven't tried it. It comes like it's already used with color on it.
Oh, cool.
So
then you won't be afraid to use it then.
Well, I haven't used it yet, and I've had it probably 6 months or longer. A while.
Nana, I'm exactly the same way. Nana says she always ends up using her fingers and she doesn't know why. But I am messy. Girl, I am messy too.
So Elizabeth, your Dollar Tree still has them. Mine doesn't. We've got 2 Dollar Trees, y'all. And one is known better to carry the plastics, like the little baskets and stuff. And the other one has the art and stuff.
I don't have a Dollar Tree, so I can't even commiserate. We don't have anything like that here. You know why? It would have to be the $10 store, not the dollar store.
Yeah. Yeah, Hawaii is crazy expensive. It was crazy expensive when I was there. That was a while ago.
It's still equally expensive. Just when you live here, you just don't have the same sort of shell shock as you do. You know what I mean? Like after you've lived here for a while, it is what it is, and you just run with it however it is.
Yeah.
So a little birdie told me, and I don't know if this is true or not, that Shanna Green's going to have another auction at the end of October. So for those of you that want a Shanna Green treasure, go over to her Buy Shanna Green Facebook group and join, and hopefully she'll put it in there like when she's going to do her thing. And she's going to...
Oh, I'm sure she will. Because, well, is Rosemary going to host it again?
You know, I don't know, because the day that Shanna's auction was, I wasn't able to be on the whole time, so I didn't hear all of it. I was doing family stuff. I don't know, I think I was driving around, doing stuff that I had put off to the very last minute, because you guys know, yeah, I haven't wanted to, like, you know, when you got errands that you got to do, sometimes you just don't want to do them. You put it off, you procrastinate. So I tried at the beginning of the auction to bid on a few things, and then I tried to come in and out whenever I could. But on my phone, I don't always, if I'm not home, I don't get good reception. You know what I mean? YouTube reception. So
yeah. For Rizzles.
So Barbara's saying, Barb's name is Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society. And every time I love chicken pot pie, I haven't had chicken pot pie in years, but I love it. And so every time I see her name, it reminds me of how much I haven't had it and how much I love it. So she's saying in Canada, their Dollar Trees, everything's $1.25. Hey, Miss Deb.
See, we have King Dollar, and they changed their name to King Dollar 25 a couple of years ago, but evidently somebody else has come in and bought them, and now it's just King Dollar again, but everything is $1.37.
Oh.
Yeah, it's special.
Now it's $1.37. Oh Lord. It's just I know it's probably not as funny as I find it, but it is.
No, I think it's very funny. I thought it was hilarious when they changed it to $1.25. Because see, in my opinion, if they had to change it to $1.25 because that's how much everything was, then it should now be $1.37.
And Nana says Barb's single-handedly bringing back the chicken pot pie. Oh, I used to make some. When I was eating wheat, I made the best chicken pot pie. I haven't tried making it on keto. I'm sure you can make the insides on keto. It's just the crust part.
We loved Kentucky Fried Chicken pot pies. And then we got a couple of bad ones. And we haven't been back.
You know what's really sad is like, so, we are all, because of this pandemic, a lot of the places that you used to be able to frequent as far as like eating out. We're talking regular local place eating out. I'm not talking fancy 5-star eating out. I'm talking like just, hey, let's go have a burger or whatever. They're all closed.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're all closed. So a few of them started opening back up. And so like it was don't know, somebody's birthday. You know, when you have kind of a pseudo big family, you know, daughter, son-in-law, partner, young daughter, you know, it's somebody's birthday. Somebody's born sometime, it's somebody's birthday. So I said, oh, let's go as a treat to ourselves, because we had literally not been out of our house in like, at that point, I think this was at the end of June when we went out. So everything closed down in March, so we hadn't been out since then. So we go, and this was a restaurant that we used to love, and it's not cheap, but it's not like 5 stars pricey, but it's not cheap. It's not like nothing's cheap here anyway. So we go out. The food was so bad, APG. I said, I'm not going back. And I know the reason the food was so bad is that their chef quit or whatever, you know, like,
Right.
It's not because, and I'm like, oh, I just can't do it. You know?
And you know, because the prices have now gone up.
Right.
Also, it's like,
True.
really, why do I want to go spend $20 for 2 hamburgers that are poor to mediocre hamburgers?
Yes. No, I'm there.
That I
with
can
you.
make at home for 10.
Right.
The
No, I
point
get
is,
it.
you don't have to make it at home.
You made a crustless chicken pot pie. No, there are keto crusts that you can make. It's just not everything works the same when you're working with coconut flour or almond flour. So I haven't even tried, but I have made some good desserts that have been good. That have been sugar-free. You guys, I never in my wildest dream would have ever thought that I would be like, I could do sugar-free, but I have been. You guys, I have officially been sugar-free for almost 2 years.
Wow, that's amazing.
It is, and I still make desserts. Hi, Gail. Laura said she's lucky. Her son's a chef, and they eat better at home.
Oh, awesome.
Tanya, what? You're paying for a divorce? What? I missed that part. What? Yeah, but Kat says every time she's gone out since all this stuff has happened, the food's been awful. Yeah, and what's really hard for us, Kat, is that like everything's like closing. And I'm not saying it to make anybody feel bad, or I don't need pity or anything. I'm just saying, so like we're trying, like when you find like, okay, I've put in my budget that we can go out to eat, right, for like whatever, or we want to go try and feel a little bit normal, right? We'll go, and then when the food's so bad, you're like, I can't do it. So, yeah, it'll be interesting when all this pans out to see what happens here. Oh, the increase at the Dollar Tree. The increase at the Dollar Tree is to pay for the divorce. Oh my gosh. Diana, I agree. Diana says everything tastes better when you don't have to cook it.
It is better, because then all you have to do is just wad up that paper and throw it away.
Totally. Gail says she's been eating healthier since the virus. That's a good thing. We all say hi to you, Miss Gail. We're happy you're here.
I think we have too. Although I've been finding myself buying more junk food.
Yeah, but when you're on keto, you can't eat any of that.
I know, but I'm not on keto.
I'm just saying, so like, I can't even like, okay, so you want to hear what a snack on keto is? And not to discourage anyone, because it's improved my health so tremendously. I can't even tell you. It like even far more than I even knew my health needed to be improved, if that makes sense. So if you want to snack on keto, you can have hard-boiled eggs. You could have celery with peanut butter if that was inclining to you. You know, if you were so inclined.
Not too much peanut butter.
No, you can have almond butter or nut butter. It really doesn't. It's not that bad. Or I have a handful of whatever kind of nuts I have at home, like macadamia nuts or whatever I have. We have a healthy supply of whatever mixed nuts, olives, pickles, any sort of cabbage coleslaw kind of thing. My partner likes kimchi. I'm not a great fan. Kimchi can be good when it's made fresh, but some of it, just the smelling of the garlic will turn me off. And I love garlic, but it's a little bit too much. So like or a piece of cheese, like you go for like a piece of string cheese or a piece of, so it's not like you have the same sort of snacking abilities as you do when you're not.
Yeah, the keto diet is a great health diet. It is a way of living, though. It's not.
Yes, it's a way of living.
You jump on and off of. It is something you know, if you're going to do, I would recommend you keep doing it.
Yeah, no, it works for me. I'm not saying it works for everybody else, and I don't want to get into some keto debate because that's not where I'm at. I'm just telling you, for me, the sugar-free, I never thought I would ever live sugar-free. I mean, and if I wasn't doing keto, I wouldn't be living sugar-free. You know, I never thought I would ever live sugar-free. But I have been, and it hasn't been, you know, I use monk fruit sweetener, which is, to me, tastes the closest to sugar. And I put that in my coffee or my tea. And I make desserts, but you have to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really can't, like, what did I want? I just wanted a snack the other day without having to cook something. So what I've figured out for myself is that I have to cook more to have leftovers. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So like then you can go, oh, well, I'm hungry. I want something right now. I don't want to have to wait or whatever. So I'm going to have, I don't know, whatever it is. But it's not for everybody. And I'm not telling you to do it. I'm saying for me, it's been working for me, but I don't know that it would work. I don't, you know, it's a lifestyle.
My husband was doing keto for a while, and he did really well on it. You know, his diabetes improved and all that. I didn't do it because I didn't want to, but I cooked, you know, different and special for him, which was fine and it worked. But then he decided he didn't want to do it anymore.
Well, it was probably because you weren't doing it with him. So my partner did it with me, and I did it because one of the girls in our Facebook group or in our Crafting Mamas live streams had talked about her vast improvement from arthritis and fibromyalgia, which I have a predisposition to both. And I have such a sensitive ridiculousness that I can't, not that I am against taking any medicine. I'm not. You have to do what works for you. But I can't take it. Nothing works for me that way. So I said, hey, I'm going to give it a try because my fibromyalgia was getting so bad, you guys, I could not. I mean, I know I rarely talked about it because I didn't want people to like us. You don't want somebody to associate you with being ill, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I never mentioned anything because it's like, I don't want somebody to go, oh, well, there she goes again, you know, whatever. So,
Shannon Green did keto before they moved out to Arkansas. She did it, a while when they were still down here in Houston area.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They've been, I don't know how long they've been in Arkansas.
Yeah, I hear it. Well, for me, it worked. I mean, I probably could be a little more strict. I mean, it's not that I'm not strict. I just don't eat enough fat. You got to eat a whole lot more fat than I eat. Got to eat a whole lot more fat than I eat. But I've lost some weight, which I needed to do. But more than that, I felt like better. I felt like so much better. It's like, I don't know. It's like silly how much better I have felt since I started. Anyway, so that's what's going on with me. So I mean, I've learned how to cook. I do have a really good recipe for keto pancakes. I'm not a big pancake eater, but they're really good, and I put sugar-free chocolate chips in them, and they're really good chocolate chip pancakes. I have a good cheesecake recipe. I have a good stuff like that. Stuff that, because I found for myself, like even before, if I wasn't a big dessert eater, I certainly was craving more dessert since I started.
Yeah, because your brain's like, no, we want that.
Diana told me to hand this book page over to you so you can wad it up. It would be perfect for what you're doing. I wish I could hand, we're probably getting close to that where we can, hand things through a screen. Just like hand that over. You have bad, Tanya? Yeah, I've had it for a long time. I didn't know. You guys, I think I've had it since I was in my 30s, but I didn't know what it was. And back then when I went to the doctor, they were like, whatever, like, how they deal with it. They're like, oh, you just must be worn out because you're a mother. Or you must be.
Yeah, if it's a woman thing.
Stressed. Yes. Oh, it must be hormones. Whatever kind of BS they would tell you. But looking back now, I used to have it so bad, like when somebody would just touch me, like tap me on the shoulder, it would like send me into like, I can't even tell you how painful it was. And I learned early on that I can't really, pain meds and me don't really mix. So I didn't take anything. I might take a couple of Advil occasionally or something, but I just lived with it. And I thought that's just how it had to be. And it wasn't until I started keto that I realized I had lived many years in pain when I didn't need to. Then it made me start thinking about like, it must be the additives that are put in our food, because food itself is not poisonous, but if they put a bunch of poison in it to keep the weeds out, it is, you know what I mean? So,
well, all our packaging, and this is not anything against the petroleum country, because I live in oil land, okay? Everything is treated with some kind of petroleum product. Everything, all your food product packaging has some kind of petroleum byproduct in it to keep the bugs from coming in. Every canned food, even your organics, the food, the containers and the water of your soups and your vegetables and all that is treated with this petroleum byproduct to keep the water and the broth from foaming, because when it foams up, they can't seal the cans properly.
Wow.
So everything you buy has a petroleum product or coloring or additive within the food itself. It doesn't mean that it's all, going to cause cancer, but it all has that. The only way you're going to be assured of not having that is to grow your own everything.
Right. Or buy it from somebody that's growing their own, and hopefully they're not treating their stuff with it. Well, so I can just say this for me, that it took me less than a month and I was pain-free. So that's
awesome.
You guys, I'm in my mid to late 50s. So I've had this pain since I was probably in my late 20s, early 30s. And so if you've lived in a constant state of pain that you just thought you had to live with for all that time, and suddenly your body is pain-free, you're just like, wow, it's like, so that's what keeps me on it. Okay. That is what keeps me doing it. It's not because I'm like, oh yes, this is such a easy way, or because I'm all into whatever. No, it's because when you've lived with chronic pain and you don't have it anymore, you're suddenly like, wow. I think one of the first few weeks that I was like, the pain was leaving my body, I was so emotional. It was so weird. And I just was like, it was crazy.
That was your emotions letting go.
Yeah, it was kind of scary, actually. And so I'm like, now I don't want to go back to that. Does that make sense? Like, I don't want to go back to the pain. Like, nothing tastes as good as being pain-free feels. For me. I'm not saying it's right for anybody else. And I would not have thought, yeah, you're right, Kat, I got my life back. And I would not have thought that just changing, just taking out all the stuff that I did, that it would have changed so dramatically. Saying that, yesterday I get a salad from the same place, like, I don't know, once every couple weeks. Just get a salad. They have this really good salad. It has like all kinds of organic greens and veggies, but it has like roasted. You can get it with any kind of roasted meat, or you could get it with roasted eggplant or whatever. And I love it. And I have it maybe once every couple weeks. Saying that, I had some yesterday, and they either put something new in it, because I woke up feeling like I had a hangover, but I hadn't had anything to drink. So it was either the iced tea that I had yesterday that I made myself, or the salad that I had. And all I can figure is that maybe the salad had, and I don't get it with any dressing. So maybe I don't know. Something had something in it. So I was like, okay, well, we won't be having that salad again. Or if we get it, we're going to get something else, But also, I have to say, being on this, my body's been definitely much more sensitive. Sensitive to chemicals, sensitive to any sort of where did we eat? We ate somewhere, and I've never known them to put MSG in it, but I would bet you 100% that they put MSG in what we had, because I felt immediately, like after a couple of bites, that was a Japanese restaurant about a month ago. After a couple of bites, I wasn't feeling good. So I was like, okay. So that I know, but the salad thing was kind of baffling. Okay, so Liz is saying, bye, Al, love you, girl. Liz is going to film a TikTok with her daughter. Aw. Okay, yes, it was like I was a new woman. Yes, the pain is unbearable some days, Tanya. I used to just sleep. I just couldn't do anything more than that. And when you have to work a job and you're in that pain, it didn't work very well. So Liz is asking you, Jamie, please recap what's happening with that little ball of paper.
Well, yes. This is deli paper. It's one of my favorite things. And I wadded it out, and I put a rubber band around it. It's loose. This is the, was that 97 isopropyl alcohol? Spritzing the ball with it, and then I'm dropping some alcohol ink on it. And if I remember, I'm going to use the tweezers so I don't get ink transfer from my glove. And these make amazing I call them tie-dye deli paper. They're just beautiful because they're so rich and lovely, and the paper is so nice and thin. And, it's a little over 12 by 12 in size, the deli paper I use, which, hang on, let me finish this and I'll get the package. I get it from Sam's Wholesale Club, Sam's Club, or whatever it is, wholesale or not. I don't think I have any. I think I've used all the papers I've had. That's what I get. Dixie all-purpose food wrap. It comes flat, so you don't have a fold.
Ooh, that's a big one.
You can get it online. You can get Amazon's got all different kinds. Let me move that. We'll open the first one. It does take it a while to dry, and you don't want to use a heat gun on it because it is an alcohol ink, and alcohol is flammable, especially this higher proof alcohol.
Did you make your own alcohol ink, or was it an alcohol ink that you bought?
I'm using Adirondack, which is the Ranger, but I have a couple of homemade ones. But it is gorgeous.
Well, we're just going to all have to try it. Yeah, I love alcohol ink.
I have an actual video on it.
So
it still looks like it doesn't look so good right here, but when it dries, is really not. And I will say, because I've used the indigo on this one, the indigo is very, very strong in the alcohol ink. And the Ranger brand is super strong. And don't use a heat gun if you do this. It's hard not to. Now, once it gets almost dry, you can, but you still have to use, you have to be real careful because it's still flammable until it dries. So
I love alcohol ink, but I have stained my hands sometimes so crazy when I was making those soda can earrings, and I used to,
yes,
oh my gosh, my hands would look, and then I had to, yeah. Then if you were like doing anything that took you into the public, that alcohol ink does not come off so easy. So yes, using gloves is good, but I have cross-contaminated. I've done all of that.
That's why I'm trying to use the tweezers because I thought I was being clever by using the glove, but then I started getting transfer off the glove. And, if you use red, it's okay. But then if you do something like this and you touch it with red, now it looks like you have a blood drop on it.
Oh God, yeah.
So
I totally did that. Yeah, I can relate.
And yeah, I used way too much indigo on that because it is that's just going to be a blue piece of paper.
Hey, but
but it'll be pretty. And you can, I've done it just putting the ink on here and then adding the alcohol later. It works both ways. I don't have a preference personally. Did that finally get empty?
Oh, look. Oh, good. So look, thanks, Elle. Elle, put your link to your, to the video into the description, into the chat. So you guys go over and make sure that you click on that so that you can go watch that video later and like it or add it to your list. Or yeah, how many of you guys have those long lists like I do where you're adding all these videos that you're never going to catch up
to the watch later?
Yes, I have tons to the watch later. Bye, Dee. We love you, girl. And then she says, thanks for some great new ideas, Jamie. Hugs to all. Good for you. Take care, Diana. We love you, girl. So you filmed your TikTok? That was fast. You guys, I can't get into TikTok. I'm sorry. My daughter, my littlest daughters, my youngest one, the 14-year-old, she's all into it. But I can't, yeah.
We watch them on some of the, my husband likes to watch the silly videos. The fails and all that. And they have a lot of TikTok stuff on there. Some of them are quite entertaining.
Oh, she's into it. She's like always showing us something. I just said, I can't add another thing for my ADD. So Gail says she just checked out your video and she saw the finished papers. And Jamie, amazing.
They are. I'm not just saying that because I did them, but it's just like, wow, y'all. If you have alcohol inks and you want to do a little something, and you don't have to use deli paper. I just love it on the deli paper because it absorbs so quickly and you actually do use less of the alcohol ink on there because it's so thin. You can use copy paper. You're going to get different results, of course, but
Oh,
they come out beautiful.
Elizabeth said her TikTok was her daughter, summer's over, falling into the pool, and she does it for her students. Oh, your daughter sounds like an amazing teacher, and she's so lucky to have you. Gail wants to know, have you tried rice paper, APG?
No, because I don't know where my rice paper is, and I'm really trying not to buy more paper. That's my plan for the winter. Is to
not to buy more paper,
to go through and organize the papers that I have, because I had found that I kept buying paper, and I'm like, but I know I have this. I've got 2-3 tubs, and when I say tubs, I mean like those big giant ones from the Walmarts, and they all have paper in it. Some of it's antique vintage paper and some of it's new paper, because I found myself when I cleaned up, I just started sticking the paper in there instead of organizing the paper. So
Yep.
it's in tubs, and that's my plan for this winter is to go through the papers and actually organize them and label on the outside of the tub what papers are in there. So I can find them when I want to use them. Maybe. Maybe.
Preaching to the choir here, girl. We're all in the same boat with you. We're like, oh my God, I have to find that paper.
Yeah, because I see it and I'm like, oh, I want some of that paper. And then I'm like, I think I have some of this paper.
You know, the worst part for me is like, I'll see a die, like a Sizzix Biggs die. And I'm like, I want that die. And then I buy it. And like 6 months later, I find that I already had it.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. So I'm like, that's why for me, I'm seriously like, aside from just like supporting other crafters, buying their things, I'm not I'm letting go. I have to. And I'm going to go. I made myself a promise. I'm going to go through and I'm going to let go of all of my wooden stamps that I haven't used in a long time because I know that there's somebody out there that would like them much better. That's probably waiting for it, and it's been sitting in my stash, and yeah.
They asked the universe for it, and they don't have it yet.
Yeah. Kat says, it sounds like me, APG. I know that I have it. I just don't know where I put it. Oh, girls, that is my life. Label and L saying labeling is a feat. It really is. Have you guys ever seen, since we were talking about Shannon Green earlier, and I haven't seen her videos in a long time, but I know at one point she did didn't she, when she moved to Arkansas, she did a video of her craft room or how she organized, and she is so organized, you guys. I was like, yeah, I think after I organized, I might never do it again. Do you know what I mean? Like that. I don't have all those tubs and stuff. But
I did pretty good this past winter when I was cleaning it up and organizing the studio. That's how all the papers got in the tubs to begin with. And I'm doing pretty good at keeping it together. Although I do find myself piling stuff up on the counters again. Blade, the artistic biker, told me I had flat surface syndrome. That's wherein you have a flat surface and it must have something on top of it.
Oh my God. I have not heard that. You have flat surface syndrome.
So you put something on top of it because you need something on top of it. Every surface needs something on it.
Nana says paper addiction, what is it? Paper Collectors Anonymous. Wait, go back. I missed it. I'm sorry. I was just thinking about flat surface syndrome. Paper Addicts Anonymous. Yes. It's like, oh my gosh. Right. And then you get a book and in the paper inside, you're like, oh my God, the paper's so nice. And they don't even care what the text is. Paper's so nice. Oh, I need that. Kat says she's getting organized. Elle says she has to go through her room and get rid of so much. Oh, girl, we're right there in the same boat. Linda said, I'd be organized if I stayed out of the room. Oh, my God, Linda, we all have that same problem. I would. Oh, my gosh. Yolanda says, y'all are the same boat by yourself. Oh, my gosh. I call it flat surface disease, Kat says. It so really is. Oh, my God. Yes, I agree. Your entire family has it? Oh, please.
Well, I grew up with it. Pretty sure. But then even when I was a kid, and I was thinking about this the other night, which I think about weird stuff when I can't sleep. I don't know that that's what wakes me up, that I'm thinking about it in my dreams or whatever. But it's like, when you was a kid, you used to just pile crap up and then you'd go through and organize it like crazy and then it'd get piled up again. Maybe I just like repeating it. I don't know.
Right, Nana, any paper. It's horrible. You guys, it's so horrible for me. I just can't handle it. It's like, what book did I get? And I just like, and it's, you guys, I could let it go, but the paper's so nice. I can't, yeah.
Well, because it's pretty. It has pretty colors or a pretty pattern or
I don't know what.
you
Jamie,
like
I
the
think
texture or the slickness of it. Just
yeah, the texture and the
everything.
slickness. Yes, it is an illness though. I agree. For me, it's like another long lost sister. Me too. At Cat says another long lost sister. Juanita says Yolanda is my cousin. Oh my goodness, you guys. It's like too much. Your entire family has a cat. Mine does too. You know, it's like well, I don't say my whole entire family. You guys, my kids are minimalists, and can I tell you how much I admire that? It's just not me. I can try, like, I can move into a smaller space and let things go, and then somehow it just finds its way back to me. You know. So Linda, I finished my book inspired by you, except I haven't finished working on the cover. I did a magazine transfer on it, and I haven't finished peeling it off. So I have to still work on, but I don't have any water here, so I can't do that. Maybe I do. I have some water right here. What am I talking about? But I did finish the rest of it, which I did your challenge. If you guys haven't gone over to Linda's channel, go over there. She does a challenge where you create one page for your journal from one magazine. I did this whole book from the magazine because, I have to just be a little extreme. No, I just was wondering if I could even do it. And I did. I think it could use some tweaks, and the magazine still has images in it. Granted, I used an old Nat Geo magazine, so that did have a lot more images in it than, say, the average magazine. This magazine transfer thing usually works out really good for me, but this particular image, I have to tell you, the pulp on it is like, this must have been a really old magazine where the images, where the paper quality was really good. Because I can't even get the. And I don't know why I'm addicted to doing it like this. Somebody wrote me in one of my videos ago, why are you wasting your time doing that? Just glue the damn thing down. Okay. I was like, okay, touche.
I need to make sure it's where it wants to be.
Yeah, or whatever. Just need to create a little bit more work for myself. But you know why? Because if you've worked in layers, and you really can't tell on the video, but if you've worked in layers and you don't want, say you've done some amazing, or what you view as amazing painting technique underneath, and you want the surface to stay flat, you don't want it to have that shiny magazine transfer thing. You know what I'm talking about? So that's why. So that's honestly why. It's not because I think that it's the only way or whatever. But that's my reasoning behind it. It doesn't mean that it's not fiddly or take time. Linda, how many subscribers do you have, girl? Yeah, I didn't know this. You guys, I'm so not up on YouTube stuff. It is like I've been in. Elizabeth says, Elle says, the only surfaces that are filled are in my room where no one else in the house goes. But you can't deal. I understand because they can't deal. I get it. You have 166 subscribers. Okay, you guys. Everybody that's in this chat, there's 40 of you watching. If Linda gets 40 new subscribers before we end our live stream, I will do a giveaway, and I will give away. I could give Asian book packs away. I've got so much stuff to let go of, so I could do that. So you guys go over there and join Linda's channel. Let's see if we can get her to 200. How many? 40 would be 200. Oh, she's at 167 now. No. So if Linda gets to 206 before the end of our live stream, for all the 40 people, all the fibs in the box. So Nana's already subscribed. So maybe I'm already subscribed. So maybe we won't be able to do 40, but
I don't know. I'm going to have to go look.
So if we get to, how about this? If Linda gets to 200 before we finished, I'll do a giveaway for the fibs that are here. And you can have your choice. You could have your choice of a of all my crazy Asian paper pack, or I don't know. I have all kinds of stuff. You're already subby too, Gail. I know. I love Linda's channel. Linda, where do you live? Where are you from?
What's the name of it again?
It's right there in the chat. It's Linda's Mixed Up Mess. And Elle's already subscribed too. See, we're already subscribed, girls, because we love you, Linda.
Well, my computer is old and it hasn't decided I've done anything yet.
So she's up. She's up to 171. So we only need 29 more subscribers. Come on, there's 38 of you in the box. Come on, you fibs. You live in Ohio, Linda? Why? For whatever reason, I thought you were from the East Coast. Am I wrong? Maybe it's just me wanting to hear an East Coast accent and I thought you had one. It could just be my ears, though, you know? They want to know where you live in Ohio, Linda. Did you guys see, who is it that got 1,000 subscribers the other day? I was so happy. Christy met us, because, so this is what I was going to say. Hi, Millie. Millie, just how are you, Miss Millie? We're happy to see you. Ohio is on the East Coast, but I mean like in like New York. You're from Worcester?
I'm already subscribed.
You're from Worcester, Massachusetts? Ah, that's why. You're already subscribed. See, there you go. How are you, Miss Millie? So this is what I was going to say. So I did not realize this, but if you don't have 1,000 subscribers, you can't use your community tab. Like, I'm so out of the whole YouTube.
I didn't know that either.
No, but Mary was talking about it. You know, Mary from the Marriottier. I love her. Anyway, she was talking about, I don't know who was in our hop. Yeah, Christy got to 1,000. I know. I'm so happy. Christy and Nicole from Relax
Cut Glue.
Yes, Relax Cut Glue. Yes. So I didn't know this, but Meridel Abrams was telling us the other day in one of her live streams, somebody in one of the hops that she's doing doesn't have enough subscribers and wants to use their community channel tab. And I was like, that makes absolutely no sense to not let you use your community tab, because your community tab is just the thing where you send out notification to your subscribers, like an announcement, like a blanket email, you know? And so I don't understand. I of course, you know, YouTube changes stuff all the time. Did you see recently they're changing they're changing something else about the whole not for children thing?
Yeah, they're on certain ones. They're going to make them log in and verify that they're adults or something.
Yeah, and then they changed the
what they've also done, and there was no notification on this. If you've not created any new videos in 6 months, if you've not uploaded or done lives within 6 months and you are monetized, they take your monetization away from you until you decide you're ready to create again.
But then do they give it back? Do you have to start all over?
Yeah, in which case you will have to reapply for the monetization.
Oh my God, that was such a pain in the butt. And you guys, I don't know, maybe you make a lot of money on your videos. I don't make that much money on mine. And I used to do it relentlessly for a long time. Woohoo! Linda's up to 182. Come on, peeps.
Yay.
We don't have that many. 18 more and she'll be at 200.
I make about $100 a year off of YouTube, which doesn't even cover my postage.
No, I think the first year that I did YouTube, I made, this was years ago, like 3 or 4 years ago that I first really started doing YouTube. I think I made $1,200 or something like that.
That's
and
good.
I was, yeah, but you know what though, APG, that was like the one time. I have never, or maybe it was $900. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. I think last year I made $300.
That's good.
for all the, I don't know. I don't know how.
I don't do it for money, and you're not doing it for the money.
Obviously not.
No. I do it because I enjoy doing it. And when it becomes a job and a stressful thing for me, I won't do it anymore.
Yes, Gail, it only shows the community tab only shows once you get to 1,000 subscribers.
Wow,
Hi, Angie.
I didn't know
We're
that.
happy to see you, girl. Yeah, so many hoops. You're so right. And Deb says, how do you verify? Deb, I have no idea. They do have something that's like YouTube Insider or, oh my gosh, YouTube has its own channel that'll tell you all these things. But I honestly, I don't even listen to it. Deb says she was monetized before 1,000 subscribers, and then they stopped. They stopped it until you got to 1,000. But then now they're making like the hours or whatever. It's like, what is it, like 4,000? What is it? Something crazy. You have to have
40,000. I think it's 40,000 minutes, but I'm not positive about that. And you have to maintain 1,000 subscribers, and you have to maintain the number of minutes. And the number of minutes thing is monthly. That's not a per year thing. You have to continuously have that, or they're going to take your monetization away from you. They're not taking your money because that's handled through AdSense. But the deal with AdSense is you have to make $100 before they mail it to you. So
right.
A lot of people were really upset about that because, they had money in there, but they couldn't get it. And the way to get it is you close your AdSense account.
Oh, God. So Poetic Angel, welcome. And she says, Linda, seriously, both of me. And then Elle says, exactly, Jamie. That's what I've always said. When it becomes a job, you're out. Yeah, you have to do it because you love it. That's the only reason. Deb says you now have to have 4,000 watched hours. Is that per month?
Oh, 4,000.
But that's hours. But what is that in minutes? It's a lot.
I don't know. I've told my family they need to put my video channel on and say play all on their computer and then go to bed. I could play that game.
Don't you remember when we were like, so there's a really, for anybody that wants to grow your YouTube channel or be in a group of really diverse, but some incredibly successful and some brand new, like it just ranges from beginners to like incredibly successful YouTube artists. It's Creative Arts Collaboration. It's called the CAC, and it's a Facebook group. And I've learned a lot from that group. You're in that group, APG.
Yes, I am.
I've learned a lot from that group. And after this video, unless somebody can go over to Facebook, let me see if I can go over to Facebook and link the group. It's a really.
It used to be more helpful, but it got to where most of the people, not all of the people in the group were just there to post links to their videos, and they weren't getting involved or helping anyone else with issues they may have been having or making suggestions and asking questions and stuff like that. It is typically it has become a what they call that, link drop, where you just go in and put your link and go away.
Well, I learned a lot from there. I've learned a lot from there's lots of really good information. And here I found it out. It's called Creative Arts Collaboration. You guys, if you're on Facebook, go join it. So it was a group. I don't know who all the founding members are, but one of them is Cinnamon Cooney. Hang on.
Cinnamon Cooney was the original.
Hey, Jamie, talk about for a second. My hottie needs me for 1 second. You need, babe. It's right here. It's right there in that.
Oh,
it's right
that's
there.
All I need.
Sorry.
That's it.
There's
this one has a little tear in it.
You can take all those in the other room. Just don't send those super thick ones because they won't fit in an envelope because they're like 11 by 12, 11 by something. They're big. I don't know.
I see a big one.
Yeah. Hey, will you do me a favor? Will you make me a coffee if you get a chance? Pretty please, with sugar on top. Here, thank you. It was so good. You made the best cup of coffee. Thank you, babe. he was trying to get my rest of my packages out, and anyway.
Yeah, Cinnamon Cooney was one of the originators, and Tanya Barnes, who is a creative tartanite.
Oh, I love that name, tartanite.
And there was someone else and a guy, and I can't remember their names because I haven't seen anything from them in a long time.
Well, I will tell you what I love about it. Okay, so in the crafting arts community, Cinnamon is like, she does tons of different, and she experiments, and she's out there and she's available. So if you're in that group and you have like a question and you're a person that doesn't have like for me, when I didn't know, I don't even know how I found the group, but I don't remember what my question was. It might have been around that time when the monetization was going to be taken away and people needed subscribers and whatever. Yeah. And I remember going in there and asking a question, and she answered it. Like, it's not like, you know what I mean? And she didn't need to, but she was like, oh, this is what I did. And then she created a couple of summer art hop type things, which improved everyone's views. And then like Dave, I think Dave Deakins is in there. Isn't that his name? You know, he's like a scrapbooking guy from England.
And that's Mike Deakins.
Mike Deakins. And he was in there, and the Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter's in there.
Yeah.
And so like if people are having real issues, they'll say like, YouTube isn't doing this. And then people that have really monetized channels that are making and promoting their businesses through it, or make a living from it, or writing on there, it's the same for me, or this is what I did. Right. So if you're interested and you want to participate that way, I have not been a link dropper. So I don't, you know.
See, I was putting links in there every once in a while, and then I realized when they, who I don't even remember who it was, had brought it up, and I thought, well, I'm not really link dropping. I do participate, you know, in the group.
Right.
But I thought, well, I'm just going to stop doing that because I don't want to provoke someone else into doing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But there are times when you do need to put your link in there. You're like, hey, I've got this issue. I think this is a good video, or I'm a new channel. Can you tell me what your opinion is? But you have to be able to understand. People will tell you the honest truth. You have to be prepared for that.
Oh,
someone may go, well, you know, it's because you have, you know, a creepy voice. And that's true. A lot of people have issues with my voice, and I hear about it all the time. And I'm like, your voice. Whatever. You know.
Love you. Before I even saw you in any of my live chats, I always watched you, and I always love your little xylophone and all the things in your tiara and your photo montage.
Oh, I love that photo montage.
And no, but I'm just saying, I love that, but I understand, you know. Oh,
you know,
are you kidding?
I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that's fine. But sometimes your thumbnails are bad, and you don't see them as bad because you've created something that you love, and you've now taken a picture of it to share with everybody. But there may be issues with it that you don't see. You just have to be okay with someone saying, well, you know, everything, there's a big shadow over everything, or your videos are jumpy, or your audio is pinging, or, you know, echoing, or something like that. So,
hi, Roy. Oh, you want to laugh though, Jamie? I get what did I get? Sometimes, you guys, sometimes I leave the comments up, but sometimes I take them down because I find that sometimes if it's like really mean, it just feeds other mean people. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I used to get, and I think if you go back and look at some of my old videos, I think I have I used to get, your voice puts me to sleep.
Oh, I'm not going to put anybody to sleep.
No, but I used to get that. Your voice puts me to sleep. I was like, okay, well, I'm not the channel for you.
Well, but that's very soothing. Now, I find that if I need a nap, Barb Owen's the one to go to.
Yeah, she has such a nice voice.
She has a very soothing voice. It doesn't get loud and then go back to normal like mine does. You know, mine's just loud all the time pretty much. But there are some people you can go to sleep to, and there are others you cannot. I am the do not go to sleep, and don't be drinking liquids. It's recommended not to drink liquids if you're watching and listening, because I've had more than one person, I've actually had more than 5 or 6, 7, 10 people tell me that they've had fluids exit their nose while they were watching. We've had milk, we've had rum, we've had vodka, we've had coffee, and we've had tea. Actually, I really thought it was funny when they said the milk. I thought, now that's just too crazy there. But so,
Julie says she loves us because we're Texas Lone Star girls. We are Texas Lone Star girls. It's a good thing. Oh my God, Jamie, that's so great. I've had milk exit my nose. I was watching, oh my gosh, One-Legged Witchy Woman and L's one night. I had it on and I was drinking some iced tea and it definitely came out my nose. I don't know what they said, but I laughed so hard till I cried. And my hottie was sleeping next to me and I had a headset on because I had insomnia. And he was like, what? He's like, is it raining? I was like, and I was crying. I don't even know what they said, but I love you guys. My life is like crazy as it is. I love it when I can have that experience. When I leave feeling better, when I leave feeling uplifted, when I leave feeling like better than when I got there,
Well, and I know some people think because I'm kind of silly. I don't really try to be silly. It's just sometimes I say really silly stuff and I don't realize what I said till later, but it's too late because I do voiceovers and I don't have a script. I don't know what I'm going to say. And I say unusual things sometimes, but because people look at me like a comedian, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. They're not taking me as serious as an artist or a crafter. But I actually know a lot of crap. And I usually share every time I do something. I'm sharing something. Because I do know I've been doing this since I was a wee child at my mother's knee who studied in France for art. So I know a lot of junk.
Yeah, my friends call me the mindless walking encyclopedia. Like if she goes, oh, I have a stain on this kind of fabric. And she goes, I could look anywhere, but I could just call you and you'll know. And I do know, but I know mindless crap, like stuff like that,
Yes.
Like I had a friend call me not that long ago and she was, I had somebody over my house and we spilled, she collects antique rugs.
Oh.
And she goes, and somebody spilled a whole glass of wine and she was calling me. She was crying. I go get some salt. She goes, how do you know this? I go, I have no idea. I go get salt, put it on top of it. It'll pull all of it out. And it did. And she was so grateful. And I probably experienced it somewhere, right? It's not like I'm not Heloise. I'm not I'm not the helpful Heloise or whatever, but so she says, I always call you first. Bootsy says he can make milk come out of your tear ducts. Is that too much information? I love you, Bootsy. We want to know, when are you having a live sale? I want to buy one of your little boxes with your doodads in it. Hi, Devin. Oh, Nana, you're so sweet. Oh, I think Laura's voice. We love you guys. Oh my God, Daddy.
And I know a lot of times that sounds hokey when I say that. I understand that it sounds like I'm, I don't know what it sounds like, but I mean it. When I say it, I do mean it. I get a lot of joy from this, and I can't tell you how thrilled it makes me when I help inspire you or even just provoke you into trying something so you can see for yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
I like that too. So.
Oh, I do too. We love you, Julie. We love you. We're glad you're all here. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. I've been trying to get my mojo back, and you guys, it's not so easy. It's like, for me, it's been sort of difficult, to get my, for a while I was streaming a couple nights a week, and it's not that I don't enjoy it. It just seems like every time I make a plan to do it, something happens. Do you know what I mean? Like something happens. and I don't get to do it. So I'm trying to just do it when I can. Okay, they all want, some people are new and they're just coming in and wanting you to talk about the little things you're piling up on your desk. So have at it, Miss APG.
This is deli paper. It's a Dixie brand. It comes flat. I wadded it up in little balls, not too tight. Spritz it with what is it? Is it 97% isopropyl alcohol? I don't know what it is. It's the higher one. And then used alcohol inks on it, the Ranger brand, and then spritzed it again with different colors, and it makes like tie-dye. I call it tie-dye deli paper. That's what I call it. And they're just so pretty. And earlier we made some let me move this because I'll cross-contaminate. I just know it.
No cross-contamination. So Roy's saying, Jamie, as a retired teacher, that inspiring kids is our prime directive. So we do that to a contemporary. It's awesome. It is, Roy. I love it when somebody writes me and says, oh, I didn't think I could do that, but you made it look so easy. Or I saw how bad you messed up, and that inspired me.
Exactly. Even if I'm just provoking them, I dare you to do it better, right? I mean, that's fine, because when someone creates something, it releases these alpha waves in your brain, and which the alpha waves are what is relaxing you. Okay, it's the beta waves that keep you on edge and keep you going, and energy and that kind of stuff. That's like drinking tea. I know. I know some weird stuff. Drinking tea increases your alpha waves, which is why a lot of artists drink tea. It doesn't matter if it's iced tea or hot tea. Okay. Whereas coffee is the other. It increases your beta waves, which get you rolling. Even your brain and your body will do this, even if you don't feel like you have any energy to you. So if you drink a combination of tea and coffee, you're going to have your alpha waves going for your creativity, and you're going to have your betas going to make you do it.
Oh, that's good to know.
So yeah, when I was doing the hands-on healing stuff, I actually delved in and studied a lot of stuff, because when I have questions, I research, because I need to know stuff.
I hear you. So Jamie, show them all your papers and tell them how you did it. And before you keep going, let's see somebody had a comment for you. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to read the chat, and then I get.
Well, I appreciate you doing that part, because I'm not good at that.
Okay. It says, let's see. Somebody had a question for you. Let me find it. You go ahead and talk about it. I'll find it and let you know.
On these papers, this was something Lisa, my Eclectic Life, did. I don't know, within the last month or so. She's calls it paper marbling, where you are like you're going to do tea dye or coffee dye or avocado dyeing or whatever. I use beet juice and just smoosh it over your paper, crumple it up, and then I use glimmer mist, because that's what I have. Lisa had something else, and Shelley's done this too, and Shelley's used Kool-Aid, so that you're adding in another color. So you end up getting a stained paper in the back, and then you get mottled effect, but because you wad it up, that breaks the fibers where it wads up and wrinkles. So you actually get another effect from that. This one's cardstock, which is actually very textured. I ironed these a while back. So
Jamie, hold them up higher to the camera so they can see the texturing.
Maybe if I turn the camera off, is that better? Or the light.
Yeah, it's a little better.
This is the cardstock. So
yeah, that's better. Yeah, you can really see the texture.
Beet juice in the background, and then the glimmer mist, and that's a green one. Cardstock, and this is blue with cardstock. I think I scorched it with the iron, but that's okay. It looks beautiful. And then this is an orange one. And it's very hard to see the shimmer that's in Glimmer Mist. This is copy paper, so it's smoother than the cardstock, but it's still very textury looking. And these are the same colors because I use the same 4 colors.
It was beautiful.
I scorched them. I think this one's my favorite. I don't know. And then this is the Jamie,
Jamie, you didn't scorch them. You know what I found it is? It's were they tea dyed or coffee dyed?
They were done with beet juice.
Beet juice. Well, what I found with mine, some of them turned out brown like that after I ironed them, but I think it's because whatever we dyed them with initially is stuck to the iron.
Oh, you're probably right.
I mean, that's what I think for me.
I did deli paper, and I just used the same 4 colors. But this was the one I did a few days ago because I wanted some dry so we could see what they look like dry because I'd never done it before. So that was my first time.
It's such an easy technique. And we thank you, Miss Lisa. And we'll make sure we link her in the description box after the after it goes up as a video.
And then these are the today's papers, but I will let them dry. I don't know. How long did that? I guess that took a couple days. And it's been pretty humid around here. I had them in the house. I took them in the house. These were done with coffee and then the same 4 colors of Glimmer Mist.
Well, I can tell you, I put mine okay, so I did mine a couple ways. I did mine where I dried them in the oven. Okay, yeah. But you have to do it. But the drying in the oven is this, though. Hear me clearly on this one. Because they're wadded up, you have to turn them. Yeah. Okay. So I did it. What I did, this is how I do my papers, but I think it's because my oven is whack. But I let the oven get to 350, then I turn it off and I stick my papers in. So it's like on and then it's off. And then I, like maybe 10 minutes in or 5 minutes in, I went and I flipped them over. And then I flipped them over a couple times so that they would dry evenly. That being said, when I had to make the book for my daughter, the wedding book, and I made them like Lisa's saying, you guys, I didn't have time because I had spent all this time making the first book and my older daughter said, I don't like it. Okay. So then I was like, well, hell. So, so I did it again. I dried mine with your heat gun. But it does take time. I let them sit for a little bit, turn them around because they will pull like the coffee or the tea or whatever you use will pull underneath it. So I just kept rotating mine around. And then I used a heat gun, you know, my man gun, but you know, to dry them. I let them dry a little on their own. Somebody's asking, have you ever tried a clothes dryer? I haven't, Janie. I don't think I would, just for the fact that these have active dyes on them and they may stay in the inside of your dryer and that may not come off, or it may come off on your clothes.
It'd come off on my clothes. I'm sure of it. Well, that's what I did. I let these dry natural and in the wadded up stage. And then when I walked by them in the house, I would just flip them one way or the other, you know, because the water, any moisture is going to drain down because that's gravity and gravity happens. Yeah. So, but yeah, but you want them to dry as wadded up as you can because that helps the color stay in that, one position. Like with the alcohol dye, I'm letting that dry natural, no heat gun, because alcohol is flammable and they could catch on fire. I don't want that to happen to me. The dirt, you don't want that to happen to y'all.
Yeah, definitely not. So Elizabeth is saying, Elle's saying some dryers have a shoe rack that might be able to be used in the dry. The only thing I'm concerned about is that if you use alcohol inks or you use anything like that and you heat it at a high enough thing, it will definitely, it's flammable. But also it's just like, have you guys ever dyed fabric? You have to make sure you've rinsed all the excess dye out before you stick it in your dryer or it will dye your dryer. And then subsequently, based on the kind of fabrics you put in from that point forward, it will come off on those fabrics. How do I know that? I've done it. So back up, Juanita said that she has her enabler shield up, so she's not going to be enabled.
Good. Well, also when you force dry paper with the heat gun or the oven, either one, the paper will sound crinkly. These don't really sound crinkly like you normally get. Let me see if I can find some that I heat dried in the oven.
Your boots is fire.
Not the same kind of paper, but like a coffee dyed or tea dyed or something.
Yeah. Mine sound crinkly because I ironed them. I don't usually iron my papers, but mine sound crinkly because I ironed them. So who's gone over to check out Linda's Mixed Up Mess? How many of you guys have subscribed to her? Has she gotten to her 200 subscribers yet? So if she does, I'm going to do a paper giveaway. So somebody head over to her channel. Tell me what we're up to. Pretty pleased with sugar on top.
Okay, these were dried in the oven. And I'm sure y'all can hear that.
Mm-hmm.
So they were dried by heat. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And here's the copy paper. It's even that way. And then here's the ones that dried natural. It's a softer sound. I don't know. Maybe you can't tell the difference.
No. You can.
So, and a lot of people don't like noisy stuff. I like it when they sound crinkly, but I'm also liking that these don't.
So you guys head on over to Linda's channel. Well, somebody put it back in the description box. Put it in the chat. She's up to 182 subscribers. Come on, peeps. Woo! Did they smell like roasted turkey? I don't. Okay, so I have an issue with my oven. Okay, I have a really old oven and I need a new one, but it's like the space for the oven is like been a whole ordeal. The space it was built, this oven was built custom for the house, and it's extra small. And anyway, if I have gut in my kitchen, I can't. So I make sure that I wipe my oven out thoroughly before, if I'm going to put any coffee dyed or if I'm going to put anything in there, because of that reason. I just don't want them to smell like food, right? Not that they have in the past, because I don't think they have, but out of my own paranoia or ridiculousness. But I don't know. I mean, does anybody else have that issue that they want to, that their papers might smell like food if you put them in?
I bet if you roasted garlic in your oven, it would.
You're probably right. Probably right. If you roasted some garlic in your oven, then it would really smell. Okay, I may have to. So this was the book that I made doing Linda's technique, but I may have to do a whole new cover. I may have to gesso and put another magazine transfer, because no matter how much I looked at the Nat Geo, it was super old, but no matter how many times I've tried to remove the pulp, it becomes still like, it goes back to this. So I don't even know if I seal it. So I'll show you a couple that I've done. Like, look, this was the same technique. And look how clear she came out, right? Look how not clear this one is. This was a cheap fashion magazine. Nat Geo on the front. So I'm going to have to do something different for my cover. I don't know, but I have to go back and look, see what I have left from those images from that magazine. But here it is. Here is the flip through of mine is her challenge. Linda's challenge is make one page from one magazine. I made one book from one magazine.
Hey, Shelley, put yourself full screen.
No, I'm not.
So we can
this StreamYard thing is not, I haven't gotten my mojo down with it. So this was just a wired magazine, and I glued 3 pages together, and then I cut it off because those pages are very thin. So this was a Nat Geo, and I did this as a response to Blue Book 2020 tag, where Laura, the Jersey crafter, tagged me. And I made one page, and then I thought I would continue with Linda's challenge. And so, like, I could put something else here, but I just used whatever was left in that magazine. Some of them I like, some of them I'm like, these are not all images I would have harvested normally, right? I would not have harvested some of these. But these were from an already harvested magazine in a pile in my corner in my room. But I'm happy with the way it came out. I mean, it's definitely an exercise for me because, like, I think everything has to have a purpose. I think this is probably my favorite page because I like the water. but I'm not unhappy with it. It could use a little bit more. But I will tell you, try the challenge. It is a good way to go through and re-harvest a stash. This was the page I think I did during the video where you answer the questions, the Blue Book 2020 questions. But for whoever was here earlier that said, what do you need to start or do it? Nothing. You know, these are recycled magazines. And, you know, it made me look at things a little differently. So thank you, Linda. I mean, I will be looking at, before I throw another magazine away, I'll be looking at what I might do with it, you know, before I totally let go of my magazines. I like how it came out too. You know, it was like fun. It was fun for me because, you know, sometimes I get caught up in the preciousness of it all. Do any of you? None of you, right? So Barb says she hangs her. Yeah, this was an old Nat Geo. I think it might be too thick. I may just gesso over the whole cover and find another image and then try again. But
see, I kind of like how that's kind of so distressed. It's like there's something here, but is there?
Yeah. I just don't think I could ever get the pulp off, though. It's like, and it feels like it's off, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't have to do anything. It doesn't even matter. I think it came
out. What to do? I mean, you know, it's your butt.
No, I know. I've had it happen to me before with like, and I don't know whether it's the underpages. I haven't had it happen this bad, but I have had it happen before.
Same glue.
What?
Right? You use the same stuff.
Yeah, I think with this one, I think I either use matte medium or I use Mod Podge. And you could use PVA glue. But the only reason why to use a clean one instead of using gesso is because then, I don't know if you can really see it. Hang on, let me see if I can get it wet enough. Guys, I found these super cheap baby wipes, but they dry out, so I just add water to them.
Roy, I've not done a perfume journal page. I don't really even have a glue book. I have a book that I glue on top of, but I don't glue into. So I don't know why.
The reason I use clear something is you can see, if you get all the pulp off, you can see the words underneath it. But without the pulp being off, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what I like about it. I mean, but you could use anything.
Roy, Shannon Green has done perfume bottles where she's turned them into sort of like people and stuff. Shannon's done all kinds of magazine image stuff. I save magazine images. I even fussy cut them out because I enjoy fussing cutting. I just don't do it all the time because it bothers my hand after a while. But I don't use those images. I don't know why. But I like cutting them out.
Yeah, I have a bunch of them in there too. Barb says she hangs her coffee dyed papers in an outdoor clothesline.
Perfect.
That's great. No, I think it's great. I think it's a great solution. Shannon is so talented. She's definitely inspired me. Like, so you guys make sure you go over and join her Facebook group by Shannon Green, because that'll give you, if you guys wanted to try and get one of her journals or whatever she does in October, you know, that would tell you when you could do it. Anybody want to give me the final count on, or the countdown on Linda's channel right now? We started at 166, and now we are at, the last count was 182, and we have 41 people in the box, you guys. Come on, let's get her to 200.
I was already a subscriber, y'all. Y'all can subscribe too.
I was a subscriber too. I don't even know. I don't know how I found Linda. I think it came up. You guys, I guess I was bitching, and I guess YouTube heard me. I was like complaining that, you know, I used to get all these really cool like recommendations, and they weren't necessarily for big channels. They were for like channels that just started, right? And I love that. And then I don't know, my recommendations used to only be coming up lately or for like, big larger YouTube channels. And I guess one day, YouTube was listening into my conversation because Linda's thing came up as a recommended. And I was like, oh, and then I found her. I was like, oh, I love this. I always get excited when I meet new people and that are doing something that, doing their own dance. You know what I mean?
Come on, y'all, because I'm fixing to have to go.
Okay.
It's about supper time cooking.
What are you going to cook, APG?
Frozen burritos.
Okay, that sounds like me. If I could eat frozen burritos, girl, I'd be right there with you.
I was going through the freezer this morning thinking about what am I going to fix, and then I saw the frozen burritos, and I said, "Well, that's perfect."
I love frozen burritos.
We've got a one of those air fryers. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh, I love the air fryer because I'm in the South. So if you turn the oven on to make cornbread, I'm picking on cornbread or biscuits because they're delicious, and I'm in the South. The whole house will heat up because you got the oven on. When we got the little air fryer, I thought, well, I wonder if I could make the biscuits in here. And I can, because the oven fryer is like a convection oven, little air fryer. So I'm figuring out how to make biscuits and cornbread in the air fryer. It's a little tricky and it's a little hit and miss, but I sure like using it to make biscuits because we only need 4. There's just 2 of us. So we only need 4 little biscuits, He gets 1 and I get the rest.
I love you, Jamie. Okay, she's at 186. All right, let's get her 4 more subbies and I'll do my giveaway. Come on, you guys. We need 4 more. Let's get her to 190. 190. Head over to Linda's channel, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get to see her videos. And I'll do a giveaway for all the fibs that are in the box. So come on, 4 more peeps. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
Elizabeth, I'm in Texas, just north of Houston.
You know what I was going to say? I have had an air fryer for a while, and I've made chicken wings, bacon, sausage. I've made a roast, a little small roast in there. I've made all kinds of French fries, like French fry style, like sweet potatoes, zucchini, to make them like French fries, crispy.
Yes.
But I know that you can make cakes. I haven't done that.
Well, I'm finding because I'm putting a little pan in there for the biscuits, and the cornbread, because it's a batter. You can't just put that in there. So I'm using little pans, and you have to. It's a little tricky because when I made the cornbread last night or night before? Anyway, one piece was done really well, and the rest of them were all raw in the middle. So we ate the one piece. And then I opened it up and smooshed it around and put the rest of them back in there because, I'm still good. It's like a 10-second rule when you drop it on the floor.
Yeah, I get it.
Well, except around here, you don't want to pick it back up off the floor because it's going to be covered in dog hair.
Girl, I can relate. We have a cat and a dog, so I can totally relate. It doesn't matter how many times you do it. Bootsy, you probably can make a grilled cheese, but I think that I don't know all the ins and outs of the air fryer. When we first got it, I was using it all the time because it was just me, my hottie, and my youngest. But when my daughter and my son-in-law came, when they got now stuck here, during the pandemic, cooking in it wasn't practical because cooking for 5 people at least I have a tiny air fryer. Cooking for 5 people in a tiny air fryer was like a little bit more work than needed. So you can make all kinds of cool stuff. I mean, I got it for the same reason you did, APG, because it gets so hot here that you can't, you know what I mean? That you just can't, I can't deal.
I love it.
What else have you made in it?
It's I've cooked fish in it. We've had fish, eggplant, French fries, of course. Corn dogs. It makes good corn dogs. See, on video days, I tend to not cook. We have frozen foods on those days. So corn dogs. That's why we're having the burritos today.
That's
I
awesome.
can't think of it because I've been they made biscuits in it, and the cornbread the other night or whatever night that was. Oh man, y'all, that cornbread was so good
I
because
love
it was
cornbread.
extra crunchy because I put it back in, to let the rest of it cook. So it came out extra crunchy. It was really good.
Okay, come on, you guys. We're almost to 190. We need 2 more subscribers. There's 36 fibs. Come on. There's 36 of you guys watching. Head over there. Now I'm gonna go. Let me figure out what would be a good prize. So I'll tell you what I have. Let me see what I have that I don't have to make. You guys, the problem with me is that I have great ideas, but making things is sometimes too much.
And I want to tell y'all the perfect biscuit recipe. This
I
is
want it.
From Granny. No, you don't want it. Granny Karma, and she is on YouTube. She's got a cooking channel on YouTube.
Okay.
And it's 2 ingredients. Okay. Self-rising flour and heavy cream.
Oh, yum.
Equal amount. So if you use 1 cup of flour, you're going to use 1 cup of heavy cream. And you stir it together and you knead it. And when I say knead it, you're like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 kind of thing, just to make sure all the flour gets incorporated. Roll it out if you want to roll it out. And cut your biscuits if you want that way. Otherwise, you can just take and form them in little patties. Perfect.
Oh my gosh. So it's 1 and 1. So I wonder if I could do it because you can have heavy cream on keto. Just can't have the self-rising flour. I wonder if I could do it with like coconut flour, almond flour with a little baking soda.
I don't know why not.
I'm going to try it. 1 and 1. Wait, I got to write down the lady's name because, I have my own version of ADD. When I get off, I'll be like, what was her name? What's her name? Granny's what?
Granny Karma.
Okay. And how long do you bake it for?
Well, I'm putting them in the air fryer for about 10 minutes. So
okay, I can do that.
Probably about the usual time you would let biscuits cook in the oven. Was that probably 12 minutes in there? I don't know. But they are so good. And if you, I like them better with a pinch of salt. But then if you say a pinch of salt, now it's 3 ingredient biscuits.
Yeah, but a pinch of salt, everything tastes better with a pinch of salt, don't you think?
Yeah. And they are, my husband, he's been making them because I tell him, I'm like, oh, they're just so good. You have to make them all the time. So he's actually the one that makes them.
Oh, that's so nice.
And he makes them for me on the weekends. I have the best husband in the world.
Oh, that's so nice. They're all talking about Brussels sprouts with bacon. I love that. I've made that in the air fryer. Okay, we need 1 more subby. So do you guys, 1 more. Okay, so this is the choices of what I can mail out right now without having to do a lot of work.
Let's go full screen on you, Shelley.
Okay, wait, hang on. You don't have to go full screen on me yet. I haven't gotten, I just wanted to see. I'm looking in my shop to see what I have that I don't have to make, because some of the things I've already made, and that's what's easiest because then I can just put it right in the mail today.
That's right.
Right? So one of them would be, you guys can vote. You can either have, let's see, you can either have 50 Asian book pages, which is that's the pack that I sell, or, let's see, do I have these? Or 10 tea-dyed Audubon book pages. That's my goal. That's my prize for the day because I have those because I just spent all day yesterday, not all day, but a lot of time yesterday tea dyeing more Audubon book pages. Thanks to lovely Johnny from Junk Journal Shop. She had an Etsy hop on Monday and lots of people bought all those pages, so I'm grateful. Okay, let's see. So we just need 1 more subscriber. Come on, you guys. She's got 189. Come on, one of you. Linda's Mixed Up Mess. You guys go on over. Subscribe to her channel. All right. And let me see. Let me get back here. You like some Brussels sprouts? I love Brussels sprouts. I know it's not for everybody, but I like them. Okay.
I do not.
You don't like them?
No.
Not even cooked with bacon?
No.
Oh my God. I think bacon makes everything better. I don't know why, but it just does.
Brussels sprouts rank up there with black licorice.
I don't like black licorice, so I can relate to that.
I do not like that either. Johnny does, though. He likes the black licorice.
He does?
Yeah.
What? Okay, great. Hang on 1 second. Hold on. What? Did you make an Asian book pages? No, I haven't.
All
right. So are we there yet? Are we at one?
Most of the candy, most of the licorice. Are we almost there?
Yep, we're almost there. I don't like black licorice. I don't know why. And you know, they have that spice. Is it anise? You're right. And one of my friends, she swears by that as like a thing to help your digestive in your stomach.
It is.
But I can't do it. I don't like black licorice. I don't like that.
You know, your health food store should sell the anise in capsule form.
Okay.
Maybe. But anyway.
Okay. So
that's what I'm saying. Our licorice here is made from the anise, which is not the same thing that they use in real licorice. Just saying. If you want real licorice, you have to order it from a Swedish company.
Oh, okay. So everybody type into the box Asian book pages or tea-dyed bird book pages. So write that then we'll vote on that, and then by then we'll have whatever we need, and then we'll have people pick a number. And then what are you going to make with your burritos?
Beans, leftover beans. That's why we had cornbread, because I made beans. You know, you have to have cornbread with beans.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the law.
Did you just make beans, or did you make anything else with it?
Nope, just beans. They're a meal. Beans and cornbread. That's it. It's perfect food.
Okay, so hi, Bonnie. And I'll mail to anywhere, so anybody can join. So everybody's saying Asian. Okay. So let's pick a number. You have to wait for Elizabeth to say go. We'll pick a number after Never Hopeless with Elizabeth writes in the go between 1 and 50. So you have to pick, and you can put a number in there too, Jamie, if you want. Between 1 and 50.
And the first person closest without going over.
Right. Is the winner. And I'll mail. And you guys, thank you guys for supporting Linda. And for those, so whenever Elizabeth puts in the go, then you guys can put in your number. And then we'll do a pick. And then for those of you that are listening to this in the replay, and if you've made it this far, Lisa, she hasn't put in the go yet. You got to wait. Okay, she put in the go now. So now put in your number. Pick another number, Dev. Between 1 and 50. And it will be for a package of 50 Asian book pages. They're all various from all kinds of different books. And if you haven't commented and you're lurking, you can still put in your number. It's for everybody. And for those that are watching in the replay, and if you've made it this far, if you go over to Linda's channel and subscribe, and you come back and you tell me that you have subscribed, and she reaches 200, say in the next couple of days, it's only 10 subscribers, I'll do another giveaway. So it'll be for those that have commented in the box, in my description box, and said, I have subscribed to Linda's Mixed Up Mess. And after the whole video's over, I'll put her link in the description box.
What a deal, baby.
Well, no, because sometimes, like when I was working all the time and people would have a giveaway and it would have been something I probably would have normally been in. Well, Bonnie, you know what? If you win, you could have the bird pages. I was offering bird pages, Audubon book pages, and they're tea-dyed or Asian book pages. So if you want to enter, Bonnie, you enter and you could have the book page. You could have the You could have the bird pages. Yeah, and I would watch people's videos and I'd be like, oh darn, I missed it. It's because when your life gets in the way, it just does.
It does.
Just like
it does.
So pick.
There again, to pick on YouTube again, they really, when they changed their whole system earlier this year because of that whole lawsuit thing, which is why the partnership program changed, they are actually cracking down on people having giveaways that don't post their rules on the recorded videos.
Okay, so I'll go back and I'll post the rules in my recorded video.
Yes, definitely.
I didn't even know about that, so there you go. Now I know.
Yeah, you want to say, you want to make sure you say you have to be over 18, because that's an American thing.
All right, so I have to write. Let me write this down. I'm not going to know all this.
I'll email you my generic ones. How's that?
That sounds good, because I will do that. Because it's like you have to be over 18. You have to.
Yeah, no purchase necessary kind of thing, and.
Oh no, it's not a purchase. It was just to go over and okay.
But you have to be present to play. That kind of junk.
Well, I'm doing two. So one of them is you have to be present, and the other one is you just have to go over to her channel and say, "Hey, I subscribed," and I'll keep checking to see if she gets to 200 because we got to help each other. Oh, she got to 190. Awesome. Okay, so let me see. Random.
Y'all are such good YouTubers.
No, it's nice. We got to help each other out. We got to. All right, let me see. Let's see. I got to get to pick a number between one and thing. Let's see, random generator.
Very good. And watch her too. Don't just subscribe. Go over there and check her out, man.
I know, right?
Woman.
Man and woman, peeps, right?
I'm happy with my little stamp pages we did today too.
Your stamp pages came out great. Sorry, my neighbor's deciding he's got to forever his Harley right by my window.
Is he weed eating the weeds?
Oh my God, can I tell you? It always happens to me when I go to make a video. Okay, so we have random generator. I don't know if you can see it right here. I'm going to say, if you can see it. All right, everybody stop, and thank you for that. And then, so we're going to hit the random generator. I entered a number between 1 and 50, and we're going to hit generate. Number is 45. Who had number 45? Who had number 45? Let's see, Deb has 40. Let's see, who has 45? Without going over. Okay, let's see, 39, 47. Do you just see it? Is it Deb? Who is it? Did anybody see?
I'm still looking.
I can't. My eyes aren't so great. I think it might be Deb's Craft Room at 40. If somebody didn't have anything higher than 40, then it's Deb's Craft Room.
I agree. Deb's Craft Room.
Okie dokie, Deb. Yay, congratulations, Deb. Message me. I will, if you're not on Facebook, you can email me at craftingmamasinfo@gmail.com. And and send me your address and I'll get those right out to you. Thank you guys for hanging out with me in APG. Thanks for hanging out with us, and make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for APG as well. And I love you guys. Thanks for being my peeps. And as always, from my heart to your heart, we're sending you so much aloha. Until we see you guys again, just bye for now.
Thanks so much, Shelley.
Bye, girl. See you later.
All right. Love you guys.